In this episode of The Full Nerd, we celebrate our birthday. Hey, happy 300. Woohoo! Yay!
Should I grab that?
No, please don't. That's perfect. Welcome to episode, Luis is in front of the camera. Welcome to episode 300 of The Full Nerd, PCWorld's premier PC hardware podcast. I am your fill-in host, but you know what? I'm done filling in. Yeah, Gordon, you're right, here. Right. Gordon is here in the place. Let's switch seats. Get in this host chair right now.
Hey!
Try this. Oh. Little switcheroo there, but Gordon, do it. Take it over.
No, I'm sitting in the right seat, which I think is that in helicopters. You the right seat is flying, or wait?
I don't know. I want to be the gunner.
Also, for audio listeners, Gordon is literally in the right seat now.
In the right seat. So.
Literally in the right seat.
From our perspective, at least.
This is nice. I it is really great because I miss this mic. These mics are awesome.
They're the bee's knees. You can go with the intro, Gordon. It's you now.
I don't. So hey, I don't have my notes. So welcome to episode 300 of The Full Nerd. It is hard to believe that it's been 300 episodes. That's true. Going all the way back. Does anybody know what year? 2016.
2016.
Yeah. May, I think it was actually May-ish 2016.
Yeah, I think it was May.
Wow. And then we had discussion. Do we count episode 0 because there was an episode 0? I would say no because that's why it's a 0.
I'd say yes.
Well, if I gave you 10, if your boss said I'm going to give you a 0% raise, he's like that doesn't. It's like it
is a
counts.
Number.
No.
You got to start somewhere.
No, so it doesn't. So, but again, 300 episodes of Full Nerd, going all the way back to 2016. It is amazing. It is good to be back in this chair. There's no real topics. There's plenty of news topics though, but we're going to make this an AMA. So if I understand this, I'm actually surprised Reddit has not actually tried to trademark that. But I guess it probably so. Ask you basically if you're in the chat, ask us anything you want. We may not answer it, but we'll try to. Is the rule
topical,
you have to
untopical,
topical, untopical. So whatever you want to talk about. So it's nice because we're at a party. If you've ever showed up at a party, we're late with the party. So
it happens. It happens.
Don't you hate it when people show up
fashionably early? Late in my case?
Fashionably. And Brad,
exactly.
For audio listeners, Brad has got, I mentioned this early in the pre-show, but he has a Sparta background, 300. And more exciting is his actual outfit. Where did you get the purple robe for that?
It's my daughter's.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had that.
She's gonna freak out when she realizes I was wearing it with no shirt, but I don't have
it. Dad. Jeez.
Wait, so she's just gonna come home and be like, Dad, what's going on?
Dad, you ruined it.
You really? No. You didn't get permission or no?
I bought a van. It's technically
that's yeah, that's always the parent. Like, I did it, Kids are always really good about they always want you to.
First question in the chat from friend of the show, Tan May. What are we drinking? I'll say I brought in from home Baja Blast. I love Baja Blast. It is in stores.
Oh.
I'm not a big Mountain Dew fan specifically, but Baja Blast is one of my favorites. I like
zero
Blast.
sugar.
What does it taste like?
I got the zero. You've never had Baja Blast?
I don't drink Mountain Dew.
I don't drink Mountain Dew either. I drink Baja Blast.
Okay.
I had no idea they sold it outside because my daughter loves.
I think it's like a
20th
anniversary. Yeah, 20th anniversary. Or I'm sorry, 20th Baja-versary. So yeah, you can get it in stores this year. So go get it now.
Wait, does that mean it's not an actual anniversary? Because I doubt it was around 20 years ago.
I mean, do you think they're lying?
Yeah, I mean, it must be made up. Good marketing.
You should call Mr. Bell and say what the hell. So that's what I'm drinking, Baja Blast.
Elena, what are you drinking? You're drinking bubbly water?
Yeah, some kind of blackberry flavored sparkling water.
Oh, nice.
Gordon, what are you drinking?
I have Lipton tea, which actually I'm a big favorite. In fact, I just bought some from Costco, a big, gigantic box of it. 3 boxes from Lipton tea. It doesn't leave that residue at the bottom.
This episode brought to you by Lipton.
And, we have to thank Willis for dressing up the set with all this, going out to a party store, it's amazing, all this.
I like this. This makes me think of
Batman.
Wait, it's two-sided. I didn't even realize they were two-sided.
Bam.
So when I went to the party supply store, they had this one section just for retro because I was like trying to find stuff that's PC theme related. So I was like, I couldn't find anything until they get to the small section that says retro. So you see a lot of stuff that says 90s and 80s and whatnot. So that's how it came to be.
Yeah, the streamer up here has a floppy disk. It's on theme.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what's a floppy again?
Don't copy that floppy. It's the save icon. I'm sorry. The streamer has a save icon on it.
This is the stuff nobody wanted?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to hear something either funny or depressing or both?
What?
So there is a generation now where they don't even know what a save icon is because they're so used to
autosave.
They're so used to having cloud services because they came up on Chromebooks that they're like, what's saving? I had to explain it to somebody that I know that's like in their very early 20s. They had no idea.
I guess that's a good argument for why emojis can expire, right? Because I mean, it doesn't. They may mean something to us, but you know,
at some point they'll be hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it's like what? Then they're like looking at it. I don't understand what this stupid emoji is. Why didn't they just write laughing out loud? You know, like.
Well, apropos of nothing, was this friend a Mac user?
No, Chromebook user.
Oh, Chromebook.
Chromebook user.
Wow, all right, sweet.
Huh? Yeah, I could see that.
You get them on. Well, Willis, what are you drinking?
See, I am drinking a peach tea. That's just peachy.
Ooh,
just peachy.
Just
yeah.
peachy.
Sounds so good.
And Alex,
Alex,
new guy, Alex.
I just finished my sugar-free Rockstar. So
Okay, you are a rock star.
Wow.
You are a rock star.
Oh, he's ready to party.
He's ready to party. Brad, what are you drinking, man? Beer.
I just not beer.
Yeah.
Burger King. Yeah, Coke. But I have a nice bottle of Basil Hayden's to celebrate this later tonight when
Nice. I like it.
we're all done.
All right.
Well, should we get to what we're gonna eat?
Yeah.
Or should we save that? We can save that.
Up to you.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
It feels like we should show them off.
We
'cause
should
they're pretty
show
We should
them
show them
off.
off.
We should
but-
show them
yeah,
off?
Yeah. Okay. All
Okay.
right. So
Get a
let me.
picture,
Yeah. I'm
posterity.
gonna make some room in the overhead. Willis, do you want to tell us?
Let's show it off on camera first, and then I'm going to, just give a bit of a shout out, and then Adam, you can then explain.
Or maybe
the
keep it on
design.
the overhead while you're giving the shout out.
Yeah, okay, so I'm
and
gonna
I'll do
go-
the hand modeling.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the overhead for the grand reveal. All right. So we got. So when folks were asking us like, is there going to be cake or any kind of sweet treat? I mean, like, come on. You guys know me. Again, there's always going to be food. There's always going to be some sort of dessert. So I'm going to give a quick shout out. Actually, Adam, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
How do you say this?
Marahuyo.
Marahuyo
Confection. So Marahuyo Confection is a mobile bakery and pastry shop that specializes in creating desserts and confections inspired by tropical and nostalgic flavors of the Philippines and beyond. They are open for catering, custom cake, and custom cake orders. They do pop-up shops in San Francisco and the Peninsula, and you can find more info at Marahuyo Confections on Instagram and Facebook. So,
Well, for audio listeners, you're gonna have a hard time because you can't see these awesome cupcakes, which we have full nerd themed and PCWorld themed. We got the PCWorld power button. We got the PCWorld just written out logo. We got the GPU icon from the full nerd. We got the full nerd logo. We have an outrage pony, which
that one's cool.
She made it like 3D.
It's 3D.
Like it's got depth to it. Oh no, I'm gonna start making a mess. Oh, we should probably get napkins in here or something. But yeah, and then okay, this one's mine. So we got the outrage pony. I love the little laptop flap. And then man, I can't wait for this. And then a little episode 300 ones. So there's two kinds of flavors. What are the flavors again, Willis?
Okay, so it's half and half. So on your left, it is a ube, and this is it's called a ube baby, which has a ube cake,
Cute name.
ube
baby,
buttercream, and ube halaya jam.
okay.
And then over on your right side, you'll see the cake that is pucker up. It is a calamansi, the Philippine lime flavor, and it has calamansi curd filling and calamansi buttercream.
I like it. All right. Well,
Feels like a food channel now.
I know, right? Yeah.
The full stomach
it makes sense,
episode.
right? We talk about food a lot. Thank you again.
Thank you again to Marahuyo Confections
Marahuyo.
for making and creating these delicious
I'm messing it up.
cupcakes. Can't wait to eat them.
Yeah. Well,
I get to say something I've never said before. Link in the description.
oh yes, link is in the description.
Link is in the
yes,
description,
go
yes.
go get some awesome pastries. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to get the ube one, with the outrage pony. Oh, sorry, I'm going to steal the outrage pony.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Gordon, which one are you going for? I have plates here.
You know,
Or if you're going to skip one, that's fine.
I like the outraged pony too, but I feel like it's one of those things you can't eat because it's so beautiful.
It's true. Elena?
So I was catching up on chat.
Yes.
Did we order the guava one?
No, it's the ube and the...
Sorry, we did not.
What was the... Sorry, what was the other
Ube
one?
and calamansi.
Calamansi.
Yeah.
Oh, then
Two
I will
flavors.
take the graphics card ube.
The graphics card ube? All right, I'm trying not to touch it. There we go. I didn't touch it. Well, I
Thank
touched
you.
the paper. There you go. And then, yeah. If you guys want to...
Oh, yeah. Alex,
over,
you can go
yeah.
and grab one. Nice.
Fun times, 300.
300 right there.
And yeah, we're going to mail one to you, Brad. We're just going to throw one in the mail.
Oh, and I finally
Actually-
brought something for you too, Brad. It's coming in the mail.
Sweet, thanks. I actually was in. It used to be a Game Player magazine, I believe it was called. The kind of when I was a kid, they had the edge, the attitude. They used to joke about mailing people cheese all the time, and I actually
Mailing cheese?
So when I was a kid, I took an X-Acto knife and cut out the word cheese in cardboard, and then stapled a bunch of cheese to it and cut that out and mailed it to them. And it got a shout out in the magazine. It was great.
Oh,
The even funnier thing is they just mailed it right back. So I got like 2-month-old cheese in the mail.
Yikes. Wow.
they sent it back to you?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Those are the coolest things. It's like when you get your letter published in a Marvel comic. Like, oh, you will remember that forever. So
Matthew, a friend of the show, Matthew Lang says, oh, happy birthday, buddy. Oh, the same birthday as us. Wow. Matthew
Wow,
Lang has the
happy
same
birthday.
as us.
Matthew Lang.
Wow, happy birthday. Thank you.
Happy
Uh,
birthday.
Actually, can you grab a longer one? Sorry. Matthew Lang said, on this episode of The Full Nerd, we have a special segment called The Full Stomach. It's true. It's true. We've talked about doing the full stomach. That would be funny.
We did do one during the pandemic.
Yeah, we did.
yeah,
we
you
did.
did one.
Just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah, you
It was,
too.
on, it, was
Yeah,
our,
yeah.
it was our April Fools.
it was all food.
Yeah, we just we went over different kinds of like Cantonese dim sum.
Yeah.
Look, I have
we
the
should
playlist.
do one for Christmas, actually.
I have the playlist open. Did we put that one in the playlist?
I
should,
love
it's
that
unlisted.
episode. Willis and I have
Unlisted?
wanted to do another one, but we haven't had the opportunity.
Wait, we unlisted it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
The full stomach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a joke episode, I think.
Oh,
I think
We didn't want YouTube to mess up the algorithm thinking this is a food channel, and then all of a sudden we got a bunch of foodies in the show instead. So
Well, I'm.
These aren't the chips I was looking for.
yeah, it's definitely not potato chips. Sorry.
It's funny to look through our old episodes too, and we have the sprinkling of special stuff in here. We got half nerds. We haven't done a half nerd in a while.
We haven't
I feel
done
like.
one in a while.
And then the Hall of Fame stuff. Somebody was asking earlier, when's the next Hall of Fame? We actually didn't have one last year, so we're due for another one. I would say usually we do them in the summer months because that's kind of usually when things kind of slow down. So yeah,
You have time to think about it.
yeah, I think we'll definitely get to one this year. But Brad, do you remember what we talked about in episode 0 without looking? Episode 0 specifically.
I have no idea. Zero idea. That was a long time ago. Hayden was the guest. I remember that.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my next question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena, do you remember what we?
I remember very clearly that Hayden was the guest, and
Oh yeah, you weren't on this one yet.
I wasn't, but I want to say that maybe there was some discussion about keyboards, but I could be off.
Battlefield. Was it Battlefield?
yeah.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 was there.
All right. How'd I pull that out?
Nice.
Awesome.
Well done.
NVIDIA's new GeForce series just made your GPU obsolete. Was one of the titles.
That was at the 1080 Ti launch, right? Right around then?
I think it was just a 1080.
Huh.
Yeah, TI I think launched during
Yeah.
Comic-Con. It was in like the middle of summer. I remember it was.
And then we had another segment, Builder's Dilemma, back when we were like, oh yeah, what if we had a segment called Builder's Dilemma? It didn't last so long, I don't think. LGA 1151 or LGA 2011 V3. Which one would you rather build into? Well, episode 1 was the first one you were on. Do you remember what we talked about?
I remember what I came on the show to talk about. That was one of the Intel NUCs.
Do you remember which one?
I believe that was Hades Canyon.
Skull Canyon.
Skull Canyon, okay.
Skull Canyon.
I'm getting them mixed up.
It's
been a long time.
The title was,
That
can
was-
Intel Skull Canyon actually replace your tower?
Was that KB Lake?
No, that's the one before. I think it was like the first one, like the really compact one.
God, it feels like forever ago. 300 episodes has just gone by like.
It's been 8 years.
Yeah, well, and then the builder's dilemma
I
of
did
that
math,
one
sorry.
is, would you rather pick the GTX 1080 or the 1070? That was the dilemma.
Those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days.
So innocent back then.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I realized I forgot. So episode 0, 1, and 2. Oh, actually, we did this for a while. Oh, yeah. The first like 4 episodes I actually uploaded in pieces rather than the full thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of
Yeah.
the playlist numbering is off.
Yeah, because I think it was like that was the era where everyone still thought that YouTube only wanted short content,
Yeah.
right? Like it was bad to have a video that was over like 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it turned out, nope.
And back then we weren't live either. Like live taking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It looks like. We put live the first time we put live in the description, which I'm going to assume is the first time that we went live, was
Yep.
episode 14.
Yeah, it was a
CES
while.
postmortem.
It was a while.
And that's when
In my head it was 11.
and also we did it. That's when we streamed to multiple.
We went to Facebook is where we usually had gotten the most views because that's when they were pushing Facebook video and
Right.
Facebook Live stuff.
Was it still Periscope back then?
Yeah, no, it was then
Still Periscope back then.
on
Periscope,
Twitter.
Twitter, right?
Yeah.
One of my
Periscope, yeah.
Oh, I forgot Periscope.
One of
I
my
know.
favorite memories from back then when we were streaming on Facebook Live is one of the shows went over like we always do. And my boss, John Phillips, who runs PC World and other sites, was in the Facebook comments going, tell Gordon to leave there and get in the huddle room. Brad, I know at least you're listening to this. Adam? And it's full of Gordon, hurry up and get in the huddle room.
Yep. Well, yeah. Because these full episodes, I mean, they were a little over an hour long, and then all of a sudden they just started hit to like an hour and a half. Now we
Because people actually showed up and wanted to hang out with us.
and hang out. They did.
They just want to. Everybody wants to just chill.
Back in the very early days, like the bosses over us were actively trying to push us to make the show shorter.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was just kind of a subtle, like, we do what we want kind of thing. We'll double the length.
I mean, listen, this podcast started with a "we're going to do what we want" attitude. So
Yeah.
A little bit renegade.
yeah, a little renegade.
Just a little.
It happens. That's okay.
And now we have cupcakes.
And now we have cupcakes. You can't
I have a GPU
argue with
cupcake.
you can't argue with history.
I'm trying to think of what's everybody's favorite memory. I'm trying to think of what.
Yeah, I know what mine is.
Oh no.
I think Brad already knows from the way he's nodding.
That's actually not mine. I know which one you're talking about, but that's not mine. My favorite one was when Hayden came on the podcast and did the blindfolded keyboard.
Oh
mechanical
yeah,
switch
when
test.
did he do that?
That was
I
impressive.
still show that to people.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
was
"Yo,
in-
you gotta
that was
check this
pretty
out."
cool.
It happened like 8 years ago.
That was episode 9.
100% nailed him. He nailed him. 100% success rate.
The best nerd version of the Pepsi versus Coke blind test.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it really
Taste
told
test.
you, Hayden back then reviewed keyboards for us. It just told you like, oh,
He really knew
he's
his
not
stuff.
he's just not baloneying you. He actually could tell the difference between the keys. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
which
Yeah.
switches. And,
Yeah, that was
you
super
tried to
cool.
fool him
I did.
where you put the same exact one in front of him and he still was like, wait, no, that's the same one. I've gotten this one before.
yeah. No, I was kind of like, and I did the thing. It's like, is he somehow cheating? Because how was he getting all these right?
Yeah, he was just, well, so, I mean, he was a freelancer, but I mean, I would still consider him PC World. Do you remember who the first guest was?
Tom Peterson, wasn't it?
Do you remember the first guest?
No. I
Right.
do.
Brad?
Will Smith.
Will Smith, yeah. He was on episode 2.
Really?
Yeah. No, 3.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was Will. And full circle, he's back
Yeah.
joining us every once in a while.
I can't find that list you're looking at. So.
It's the playlist on the but the first industry guest. Well, maybe that's not the best way to say it, but yeah, Tom Peterson was episode.
Was a special episode, I think, right?
Oh yeah. God, why can't I find it? Oh yeah. No, episode 10 is before we did any special episodes.
Oh, okay.
So episode 10 was Tom Peterson, and then we did. Do you remember when we did the live episode with Raja at AMD's booth?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a horrible
Was that one
situation.
of those
For
that was the
technical
first
reasons.
time.
right?
Well, yeah, nothing on AMD. That we were just like, oh, could we do an interview with Raja at the booth? And they're like, awesome. Could we do it live? We have this cool new. We're going live now. It's the thing to do. And so we had this little box. Oh, what was the box?
Oh, that stream thing. That was terrible.
Yeah. So it was a single point box where you connect it to a service. And so you needed an Ethernet cable. So AMD gave us an Ethernet cable that was like a super long run, and then the upload speed was not great. And it was like you had everything on like this little. It wasn't even an LCD screen. It was like a dot matrix kind of screen. So we were like trying to go through and set everything. It was horrible. The interview, went pretty well. Oh, Brad was in that. I forgot. Yeah, Brad. That was when you were at that CES.
That's the first time I've ever had to wear makeup to be on camera. I hated it. Some got on my shirt. You can still see it in the.
Wait, why were you wearing
Really?
makeup? Who
You,
put
you
makeup
made
on
me
you?
wear something.
I did?
Either you or Dan, yeah.
Oh, it was a powder for the shine. That's yeah.
It wasn't powder.
Gotta-
was
Yeah.
Really? Oh, man.
Did they airbrush you?
I'm sorry.
I remember when I joined, Melissa was like, "Oh, we've got this airbrush machine." I'm like, "Whoa, that's a little intense."
Yeah.
Yeah, we
well,
actually had a makeup expert come in to show everybody how to use it, and there was a station it was like, I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna make us look like any less ugly, okay? It's like this pointless.
the video team at the time, when I started and I wasn't running anything, it was just I was a little worker drone. Yeah, we had some.
It was
some things going on.
It was a cool thing. I was like, you know what? I have my own foundation. I'm good.
Yeah. Do you remember who the next guest after that was though? It was early on. Somebody I've been talking about. We should have back on. We haven't had on in a while.
It's Ryan from not creative anymore.
It was creative.
Oh.
Yeah, now he's at Seagate. Ryan Schleiper.
We were just
from
yeah.
Creative
awesome.
Labs. Yeah, he was awesome. We talked about audio, but you guys talked about classic stuff. Regardless,
That was one of my favorite interviews, actually. One of my favorite interviews we've ever done. The couple of times he was on here, because the dude just knows what he's talking about, kept it personable, and he could, I can't say what I'm thinking. Talk about PC stuff. I was gonna say shoot the S word. I don't know.
the breeze.
Yeah, shoot the breeze. There we go.
Breeze. I gotcha.
there we go.
Especially something that nobody cares about either, right? Because PC audio, nobody cares about it.
You do.
Well, I do.
Well, but
Yeah. Well, but but Ryan's awesome, and he still lives in the Bay Area. So we need to have him.
maybe he can come and talk about storage stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still down to talk about audio though. I'm sure he hasn't stopped caring about it.
Yeah, no, I think he would,
because he was at Creative for a long time, right?
Yeah. I just kind of think people don't. Again, it's just they run USB audio and. That's
It doesn't mean we can't talk about it.
Yeah, no, we can bring it up.
It's the fool nerd.
Well, I should bring up some super chats.
Oh, we got
'cause,
some.
Yeah, we got super
Amazing.
chats. Friend of the show, Joseph Fresky, who wants you on
A Star Trek
Star Trek
podcast. Yeah,
talk.
definitely. I'm up for that.
Gave us $19.99. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Said happy anniversary and 300th episode. Please remind Gordon I have to have that Star Trek DS9 discussion with him soon.
Is it only going to be DS9 though? I'm fine with that, but yeah, no, definitely.
It's such a good series.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And then a friend of the show, Coffee, gave us $5 Canadian. Thank you. Said, I am so happy. Episode 300. Having the full nerd is everything I've hoped for. I'm going to have an amazing week to another 300 great episodes. Oh my God. What is it going to look like? 600, episode 600.
We'll still be talking about the GTX 1080 Ti.
Yep, right? Yes.
That was worth it. That was so worth it for the look on Gordon's face. It actually looked like he just bit into a lemon.
No, it was just.
Wait, why do you hate the 1080 Ti?
I just think it's a little too overhyped. And I think, I look,
Wait, the best GPU of all time is overhyped?
look, no, I love it. It was awesome it was really a shocker, right? Because I was at the event with Hayden where they announced the pricing. And,
Oh, yeah, we did a video.
yeah.
Because we went over to the side and we're like, can we do a video right here?
Oh, we did a video, and it was like, wow, this is what real competition is, because you had competition, and there was little competition where I think we talked about it back then. People don't know, but the 1080 Ti launch, it was in San Francisco, and they had basically, I think it was probably 40 reviewers in a room.
It was pretty big.
But this is just, again, shows you that competition between NVIDIA and AMD. At the time, AMD was doing its Radeon briefing, right? And then they basically, NVIDIA said...
Oh, I forgot.
And they said, you don't understand how competitive it is. And you know what? You can be a hater, but you got to respect it. So we're like, okay, we're going to go to the NVIDIA briefing, and then we're all going to truck over to the AMD briefing for Radeon. And then, but NVIDIA was like, okay, we're going to do the briefing, and then there's going to be this thing happening later. But if you leave, you can't come back.
Yep. I remember
what?
that.
What the hell? What kind of, and then, why? Because they knew everybody was going to go, because somehow they always know what's going on at AMD. So they're like, we don't want you to go, and, it gets too messy. But obviously they were just effing with AMD, right? So they didn't want people to leave. So we were just stuck in the damn place the whole day.
Did they also do a thing where only one person per outlet was invited? Because that would be...
No,
I
yeah,
don't think so.
because I was there. Well, the briefing was downstairs in whatever that building was, and then they had the live stream.
Because they did all the technical briefing and like, hey, by the way, we're not telling you the price. That's going to come later. Jensen's going to get on the stage. He's going to do it. But they just did it because they wanted to obviously F with an AMD, because they do this to each other all the time. So it's a really fascinating story for people who don't realize how often these companies like to F with each other. Because like, remember... like sometimes like AMD would set up camp across the street from Intel for the original Zen demo. They did that right across from IDF. So I
do remember that.
Intel Developer Forum, which was where they had all the PC people show up and talk about servers and all this stuff. But AMD had set up right across the street and said, hey, come on over. We're going to show you a demo. And that's just how they do to each other. I do remember that. So, but 1080 Ti, good card. I'm sorry, but it's just like, it's sort of like when you have these GOAT discussions, like, is LeBron better than Jordan? It's just like, come on. It's just, sometimes
All right, well,
it's ridiculous.
I think we just need to put it to a poll, Gordon. Actually,
Yeah,
I can create the poll.
Okay.
Or actually, no, I can't create the poll because I'm not signed in.
If the 1080 Ti had come out at $750, would it be the GOAT still?
Yeah, it came out as $700. Didn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, but it wasn't like, I thought it was like $650 or something like that when it hit the streets.
No, I don't remember. Something like that.
Yeah.
So for the poll, is 1080 Ti the GOAT?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so just yes or no. It's a binary decision.
I just think it's
or is the third one hashtag wait for Navi? What was the?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
That.
put yes, no, hashtag wait for Navi.
No, it was the Radeon. What was it? The 64.
Vega?
First
Vega,
one. Yeah,
wasn't it?
Vega.
Oh, hashtag
Vega.
wait for Vega. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was wait for Vega. That's the reason the 1080 Ti took so long to come out, because they were waiting for AMD to release that so they could drop it on their heads.
Yeah.
And AMD was just so delayed releasing it. They just said, you know what? We're just going to pump this out.
That was Capsaicin, right? Wasn't that the
Yeah.
the code name? Yeah. And then they had their AMD had their party, and people don't know this. Raja, who's South Asian, likes his hot sauce. They like every single hot sauce in the world at the party. Like 50 bottles of different kinds. It's super intense. So I was like, I'm not eating this stuff. It's going to kill me.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, no,
few people would survive that.
I-
living
All right, I'm
here.
going to vote. Is it the GOAT?
Oh wait, I can vote.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to vote.
Oh, what do you think Gordon's going to put? I'm watching. I'm watching you.
I don't know. I mean, I do agree that it was a fantastic price.
Okay, well,
a
if
good
it
card.
wasn't the GOAT, then who is the GOAT? Who would
I
you
mean, that's
counter
why
and say which GPU is the greatest of all time?
I would say but I think it's ridiculous, because if I said like, if I would offer you the 1080 Ti or 4090, what are you going to go for?
Well, but I mean, we're talking about the greatest of all time. We're not talking about who the best player is right now.
If you're the GOAT, then doesn't that mean you're the greatest of all time? So you would always continually want this one product. And that's my problem is like, again, I at that time said 2080 was probably a better buy for a lot of people.
Wait. Who's the best basketball player right now? Because I'll use an analogy like.
Anthony Edwards.
So
He's the
is
second
Anthony
coming of
Edwards
Jordan.
better than Michael Jordan?
You
'Cause
watched
he's
that
actually,
Denver game yesterday?
I know, but he's
Anthony Edwards.
because he's currently playing right now.
Dude,
So
Celtics
is
need
he-
to watch out. Yeah, I just...
Is he better than Michael Jordan then? Because by that logic, I mean he's actively playing right now.
Well, he's still playing, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, if I like
the 4090 is
all
still
right,
being
we're going to
used.
get on this court. We're going to the Olympics. I'm like, Jordan, you want to come on? It's like Jordan's like, I can't even like walk down the street. You really want me to like on your team? You want an actual. Like, I think that's sort of the ridiculous thing is time moves on, right? And yeah, it was a fantastic card at the time, at the price. Clearly, it's been eclipsed. 7900 XTX would kick the hell.
You miss,
Oh,
but you're
1080
missing one of
Ti.
the major points about the 1080 Ti, which was its longevity.
Yeah.
So would you rather have a 7900
I-
XTX
'cause I-
or a 1080 Ti?
Because imagine when a 5090 comes out, you're going to be like 4090. Psh, this thing's junk.
Yes, and that's exactly. I mean, it's just like, and exactly will be it.
Then we're done.
I'm saying that's why I have a problem with this whole GOAT thing because it doesn't really. I have fond memories of it, and no way I don't want to go back and drive a POS computer, a Pentium 2 from 1998, and it's like no.
Well,
I just-
we do have some people in the chat saying the Voodoo or the Voodoo 2 would be considered their GOAT.
For me, it would be the GeForce 256 in there too. So that the Voodoo.
Wait, so Brad, you're saying you'd rather use a GeForce 256 right now?
No. No.
I'm just ragging on Gordon. I
just think
love
it's-
ragging on Gordon.
I just think it's a little silly sometimes. Like I get it. It's fun to talk about it and treat them like, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. These are simple products, and yeah, I have fond memories. It was a great launch, but come on.
but always the newest, shiniest thing.
Newest shiniest thing, frankly, is
Bigger
it
bar
is
better.
Always better. It's always better, right? I mean, so like, and again, I think the problem with the 1080 Ti is like people put it on this pedestal and like, oh, should I go out and buy a 1080 Ti? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it was like a really good product at the time. I voted for it. Go, yeah.
He did
exciting.
vote for it. I can
But at the same
confirm.
time, come on, it's
He actually did
It's a
vote for it.
ridiculous argument, and the reason why, even the simple argument of like, is Jordan better than LeBron for greatest? No, because one thing I can tell you that Jordan up against 5 players would get his ass kicked because that's 1 against 5. It's a team game, so that entire argument is stupid.
Well, there goes the Disney sponsorship,
crap.
probably the Charmin
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Sherman, yeah, McDonald's, all of them. Will is in the chat.
Also, Hayden's in the chat too. Hey, Ed.
Hayden's in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh,
He said
I
congratulations.
totally
what's
missed
up,
that.
Will?
Wow,
Yeah.
what's going on?
We should have Hayden do that keyboard thing. Can
We
he
should
still
have
do
him
it?
back
I
on.
bet he could still
God,
do
that would
it.
be hilarious. Yeah, Will said he considers the GeForce 8800 was pretty good. He doesn't say the GOAT, but he
Not
says
the
it was pretty good.
GT, because I mean the GT was like that was
That
amazing.
that's already in our Hall of Fame, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah,
have one on the
yeah.
wall back there.
Well, actually, you know what? Somebody did ask. Should I get to it now?
What?
Oh, the tour?
Yeah. Somebody asked on
Wait.
Discord.
Oh.
Discord
So
to do
I
a
just
tour.
want to say one thing, which is I am now picturing Gordon walking up to a bunch of like classic car enthusiasts and being like, all your cars suck because there are new cars that have come out that have more horsepower, more torque, and everything else. I'm not a car person, obviously, and everything else you might want from a car. Just like wandering off.
Well, no, you look again. Like I can have long conversations. You can nerd out about like, wow, this car had this 510 or a 240Z or a Shelby Mustang, really cool stuff. At the same time, a modern Toyota Corolla will go back and kick the ass of a sports car from 1968. I'm not even kidding, right? Like
but
we're
that's
talking
not,
like
that's not the argument.
no, but I mean, things have moved
Nobody's
on.
saying that
You
bigger
can-
bar wouldn't be better.
You, you can appreciate like this is at the times beautiful, but I can tell you the smell of that car and the way it rides and like it's fun to wax nostalgic, but
Wait.
it's ridiculous to
Wait, does this mean that Gordon has indirectly approved of Willis's coupe? Because he had a Honda Civic, and that's the equivalent to a Corolla.
Yeah, but he's got what he didn't buy a coupe.
It was a Civic.
Yeah, but I'm not even joking though, because you can. I mean, it's funny if you think of like the Magnum PI Ferrari. My stupid station wagon is got a better acceleration than a Ferrari. It's like I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? That's just like.
Nobody's arguing that. Okay, so this is going to change your opinion, Gordon. We have friend of the show, Steve from Gamers Nexus, in the chat. Hello,
Hey.
Steve. Welcome. It says, I tell everyone that Gordon is the GOAT reviewer. Does this change Gordon's opinion?
Oh.
Yes, because I would disagree. I mean, yes, it's very hard to find somebody stupid enough to do it for
is Gordon
so
the GOAT?
long.
Just kidding. No.
But again, I don't believe in putting any journalist up on a pedestal. We all have shining moments, and we all have our f ups. So we try to avoid the f ups. But thank you for the compliment. I will accept the compliment
Thanks,
because you
Steve.
do have to be able to accept compliments, and I appreciate that, especially coming from somebody as respected as Steve from GN. By the way, go like and subscribe if you haven't heard of it.
Smash that bell till it's pulverized.
But as any reviewer or journalist, you're not the focus of it. It's what you talk about. It's the other stuff. So,
Is it, as Brad say, journalistic integrity?
so that's Elena's favorite episode.
No, it's not. But that's probably my runner-up moment.
That is a good.
Really? Well,
That's my
so
runner-up.
then what's your favorite episode?
Are you
What's your
ready?
favorite
Are
moment?
you ready for this?
Yeah.
It was when we were comparing nanometer process.
Yeah.
I knew that was it. I was really hoping that wasn't going to get brought up.
To childbirth.
Childbirth.
Oh, you
You
haven't.
were here for that, weren't you? Yeah. Did you block it out of your memory?
Oh,
it
my
was when.
goodness.
It was when.
I don't think it
was
I don't think
when-
he was here.
Was it Brad who started that analogy? Yeah, I think so.
No, it was me.
Oh.
It sounds like something I would do. I don't know.
I'm going to retell the story.
And then, sure, why not?
So, by the way, and having had 2 children born in a hospital, conventional methods, I realized that doctors follow the scientific method. They like to tell you that it's all sciencey, and they have all these really, really cool terms that when you use a dead language like Latin, it sounds impressive, right? But let me tell you, if you haven't had kids yet, or you spend a lot of time with
Why
doctors,
not?
doctors are full of it. All right? And I'm not saying they're full of it because I don't believe them. What I'm saying is they always have to sort of they have to give you, the patient, the feeling that they have authority. And when you're having a child and the doctor comes in and says well, your wife is dilated, what, 7 centimeters? I forget what it is. It's 7 centimeters. Okay, it's almost there because, it's certain centimeters, the baby's coming out, right?
For audio listeners, Adam is so red in the face right now.
It's a tomato right now.
Well, but then the doctor comes in so then about 2 hours later, the baby hasn't come out yet, and then another doctor comes in, and they measure, and I can't say because it's a family podcast. They then measure the centimeters of the and it's it's 6 centimeters. Baby's not coming for hours. Damn, I thought we would be done. I'd be home already, and it turns out, by the way, the way doctors now. When I understand this, 7 centimeters is different than 6 centimeters. I mean, that's the difference, right? Because that's a ruler. But basically what they're doing, and I can use my fingers, is they measure with their fingers. Let me tell you, that is not a ruler. But then they still describe it as 7, they use centimeters. And it's not.
We're getting a parental advisory for this
And this-
podcast episode.
And Adam was really kind of because in his mind, it's wait, how are they measuring this? Yes, the doctors use their fingers and they're measuring. And they're
going through my mind.
But that's what they're measuring. But they're making it up. What I'm telling you is that at that moment, and I mean, David, at that moment, I realized they're just making it up. They're not even actually really. Or like you can tell me the uterus went from 7 centimeters down to 6. No, it doesn't. It's just that you're not using a ruler, and your finger is a different shape than the other doctor.
Okay, happy yay!
I really am enjoying the comments right now.
Skeet Sayre says they use a device, Gordon. Let me tell you, they maybe in the U.S., but they don't. They do not. They just come in. They're making it up.
Same thing with nanometer numbers. That was the whole start of all
that's
that.
actually, that's
Yeah,
it.
we were trying to talk about the precision of using nanometers.
We weren't just
for
talking about childbirth. Oh,
That's
Also, so Will Smith is in the comments. I appreciate this comment, which was the hand gestures are really good.
because it was at that time, Intel was, maybe they just sort of saw the crap storm coming at them, but they were basically saying TSMC's X nanometer. Well, what does a nanometer mean anyway? And actually they have a really good point. At that time, they were saying we shouldn't push nanometer because it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean jack squiddly. We can call it whatever we want. We would actually push for a term like transistors per, square millimeter or something like that. But, and obviously that was before things got really, really bad with 10 nanometer, and they'd been stuck on 14. And it turns out that, yes, science is not all that. I wonder if that's what they do with fabs. I don't know. How many nanometers is that? Well, Intel 7.
No, don't do that. Gordon.
Yeah, so that's Intel 7,
Forget about the hand gesture, Gordon.
It's
Come
pretty
on.
much, it's like a TSMC N5 or
The
N4.
comments are so good. Mike Kreider, one of our coworkers, said something like, "This is way more educational than Grey's Anatomy."
Do you think TSMC is going to do the same thing? Adam is still like dying
With the
from that.
fingers. Just not with the fingers.
Because you could just like, you can have Ian going into the fab. Well, I think this isn't the equivalent. Why is that didn't even sound like Ian. I can't do Ian's accent. That's not right.
No.
But now he's like, this is not actually.
I'm waiting for his
Okay.
response to this when he actually sees this episode.
Okay, so we got a $100 super chat from Steve from Gamers Nexus. Thank you
Wow.
so
Wait,
much.
Oh, you
There
got
you go.
Yay for Steve. Thank you.
Contributing to Gordon's legal defense fund when he has to fight YouTube to be reinstated after getting banned for discussing dilation in descriptive detail on stream. Oh my.
With fingers.
With
Steve.
fingers, yes. Thank you,
They're
Steve.
making it up.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
The best part
Now I
is,
feel icky not having a shirt on.
look, okay, so when I brought this up as my favorite memory, I did not expect to get a full reenactment of it. I think this went better than I could have predicted.
No.
I was just mostly
Or
hoping
went
to see Adam
horribly
scream
worse.
just a little bit because I'm a terrible person, but that, ooh. Well, I'm set for celebrating today.
Well, we have a $5.
What else we got?
Moving on, $5 super chat from birthday boy Matthew Lang. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Said
happy
we
birthday.
need a special guest for this show. Call Mark Hockman and get him on the phone. When we're going to see another video from him? Good question. Good question. Should we call Mark?
Sure,
I actually don't know what Mark's
Dial.
doing.
He's probably when Mark gets.
Yeah, he's actually doing serious
Mark
work, not
gets in
talking
the zone,
about
he gets
dilation.
angry, like you're bothering me. We could try it, but
Yeah.
I will tell you.
It's 2024. Nobody answers phone calls. They're not expecting.
Yeah.
That's true.
You have to
That's true.
text first. That's how it works. There's a text
You
first.
got to text
and then
before you call. Yeah.
Sure, I will text him.
I am definitely a millennial.
Sure. Okay. Another super chat. We're slacking on super chat. Sorry, I want to get through them real quick because I appreciate all the super chats. JW, friend of the show, JW Dickinson gave us $5. Thank you so much. Said good to see everyone back in the studio. Same. Brad online having fun, especially Gordon. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Fun times. I will. I'm gonna ping somebody as well. Over here.
Another one of my favorite times is when Gordon called Satya Nadella on the phone to talk about the free Windows license.
Oh yes. Okay, I
I
do
forgot
remember
about
that.
that. That was a good gag. That was a good gag.
That was a good gag.
Did you guys actually think it was Saya?
My child just walked into the house. I'm sitting in the living room, looked at me and said,
Why are you wearing my costume without a shirt?
Yeah. Yeah. Steve, if you're still here, I sent you something. VC Jester gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, friend of the show, VC Jester. Been with us for a long time. You need to use slang that people of our age understand. Wasn't the 1080 Ti radical, dude?
Was
yeah.
it rad?
Hip.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I actually missed one. I'm sorry. Friend of the show, Yamil, gave us 5 pens. He was 5 pens. Do you know what a pen is? So like a
Like
I
pens?
like pen, PEN. It just says pen on YouTube here. Thank you
Well,
for
thank
5
you.
pens.
Yeah.
They're I'd like to think they're really those really nice, high quality like ones where you suck up the liquid into it. Like
The fountain pens?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Gave us a $5 5 pens. Thank you so much. Said I don't remember episode 0 right now, but I do remember the keyboards episode with Hayden. Absolutely loved that one. That was a damn good one.
That was truly.
Do you remember early on? I used to set up the live stream station from over here. It was it was on a cart.
Yeah, it was separate. I remember
and
this
it was
now.
over there. Yeah. And I didn't have a mic for a little bit too.
Huh.
And then especially when we started going live, I was like, Gordon, don't get distracted by chat. I'll read chat. And then I remember I still remember like asking questions that I had no idea what the question was that didn't really make sense. Uh-oh.
It's,
We have,
I think it's Mark trying to call in. No, wait.
No, we might have a special guest.
Oh, we have a special guest.
But yeah.
Let him in.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Who's coming to crash the party? Move over, Brad.
Not crashing, is joining the party.
Joining the party
A guest of honor.
is somebody.
Hello.
Who is this?
Wait, he's
Somebody is
muted.
muted.
You're muted on Zoom.
Does it work? or
Yeah,
no?
it does. Welcome.
Okay. I was
Steve.
not prepared, so I don't know how well it works.
No. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was like, might as well throw it up. People are asking for guest pop-ins. And,
Wow, this is weird. I see Gordon from the viewpoint of I think Brad.
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
Gordon sees.
Wow, so this is Brad. This is what your world is like, huh?
Yeah.
That's the reason I cut everybody off mid-chat, because I can't see anything.
There's a webcam mounted to the TV, and
Yeah.
that's the view.
Yeah,
that,
and Elena is actually
people
right
in the
here.
stream
So you can see
Okay.
that. And then Willis and Alex are over there. Hello, Steve. Steve, so quick question. Is
Yeah.
the 1080 Ti the GOAT? Would you consider it the
1080 Ti
GOAT?
is the goat.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
There you have
that's
it.
Wait. You know what?
because it's 7 nanometer, right? Is that? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm
I
going to
don't
throw an
think we should
Elena
get back
in
into
here.
that discussion.
No. Yeah.
I screenshotted your comment, by the way, the all caps one.
what
I'm saving that
was
for
it?
posterity.
Uh-oh.
See,
I didn't see it.
Stephen Anderson says, I don't know, RX 580, isn't that the GOAT? I mean, giving people awesome 1080p gaming for $140?
It's not bad.
No?
Yeah. I'd say it's in the top 5, maybe.
I feel like a refresh. It's I don't know. I have a hard time giving that the goat.
Because it was just a 480, so yeah. No,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. But I was trying to
I
get the
mean,
value
You
people in
could
there.
you could argue Polaris is the goat.
No.
I'll definitely give that the 580, like a $200 card like that, 240. Yeah, that like doesn't exist today. It feels like it's like that era is gone of having
Yeah.
a $700 killer card and then like the $240-ish like every person card. It seems like that era is kind of over. So
Yeah, especially when it was $240 and then it was like, I don't know, like $12 at one point. It was just crazy. And
It dropped really low.
they just like kept giving them away and like just kept coming out. It's
well,
just
Gordon, can there be 2 goats? How many goats can?
See
And if
that-
there are 2 or more, do they start reproducing into more goats?
Do we just let them loose on a lawn
A
somewhere?
1080 Ti and a 4080 mated.
lock them in a box and see what comes out, I guess.
Schrodinger's
later.
GPU. It exists in 2 states at once. We got another super chat. Sorry, I'm just going to get through some of the super chats because I feel like I'm lacking. Friend of the show, Coffee, gave us $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Said, well, this is a serious question. I actually want to get Steve's take on this too. Are Qualcomm laptops with Windows on ARM, are they considered PCs? I guess first question. Elena, would you consider them PCs?
Why are we not considering them PCs?
Because it's ARM based, I guess. I don't know. But would we all agree that Qualcomm with running Windows is a PC? Anybody
No.
would say no? Okay.
No, I would agree.
Then the follow-up is, if so, does this mean ARM Macs are PCs too?
Well, I would argue they are personal computers, lowercase, but they are not uppercase PC because, and then, it didn't actually require an Intel CPU to make it a PC because AMD and Cyrix and all those are PC. So and Qualcomm based is a PC. And I would again argue the reason why, you've heard me say this, broken record, but Macs are not PCs because every single a-hole Mac user always ends up saying Mac is better than PC. Why would you buy a Windows PC? They suck. Well, if it's a PC, then it can't be better than it because you've looped back on yourself, right? I mean, like, if your argument is Mac is better than PC, Mac is a PC, makes no sense. So that's the reason why it's not a PC.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Steve, is Mac a PC?
I gotta go with the definition being personal computer, and so yes. But I think given the way Apple marketed its whole, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC thing, they've probably successfully brainwashed enough people to disagree with the original initialism of PC.
Yeah, right. Because that's my main problem is like they can't then lift themselves up above PC if they call themselves.
Gordon, what other problems do you have with the industry in general?
I have many problems.
And can we start with Apple?
Wait, how many hours do we have?
Yeah.
We need to order some food in.
I know.
Someone
yeah,
get
right.
DoorDash up.
I mean, there's many. I mean, there's a long. I mean, people don't remember is Apple is as old as Intel, right? So they're one of the oldest companies in the Valley. They have a long history, and then also basically a lot of bodies buried and a lot of things they've offended everybody on. Like,
have you ever used Mac for an extended period of time?
I have many times. And frankly, I like Mac SEs were just beautiful, right? Mac SEs were awesome. I actually played games at a friend's house, oftentimes in an Apple II, and I have fond memories of that, except for where the reset button was, which was right above the keyboard to the right of like the backspace button. So you'd be playing this game, you'd be 6 hours into some video game, and then somebody would hit the reset button, and it would all be gone. But so yeah, I have, and actually during my Carbonite period over the last 6 months, I spent about a month using a MacBook, and just to see what it was like, and to see if I didn't. I was.
Was it M based?
It was an M1 MacBook, and I was like, yeah, it was nice, but it didn't blow me away. I didn't think the battery life was spectacular, as the way that a lot of people do. Standby time was really good. You don't have the broken drivers that we often get on PC, but there are many problems I have with Apple. Obviously, the fans are probably the number one thing because anytime you have a passionate fan base like that are showing up at your house at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday and trying to wake you up, then it's I don't want to hear from you. I don't care. I just but they're always in your face about everything. So yeah, the fan base is bad, and there have been many times I don't really like the fact that they are willing to basically kill old hardware all the time to better themselves, and they killed the Newton, which was a bummer at the time. There's just so many things, and like the OS changes. The fact that they demand that you live their way. I just like
throw hardware overboard.
Yeah, they throw hardware overboard, and they fundamentally live in this society that you have to. It's like Fallout. You're living in Vault-Tec.
I was waiting for. I was trying to figure out where you were going to go with the analogy, but I could tell it was built into one. You gotta do it their way or the highway, and I just don't like that. And we like our chaos, we like our choice on the PC, and that's generally
like our ATX.
We like our ATX.
I was just gonna say, but ATX must die.
But yeah, no. So I do have many problems with Apple, and at the same time I also recognize they got to get their props. They do amazing things sometimes because you got to respect it. You got to respect them. Hate the game, not the player, right? So, got to give it to them.
Well, another super chat. LaSalle Rhymes, the third friend of the show, gave us $10. Thank you so much. Said, great job. 300 episodes. Very happy for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Another one from VC Jester, friend of the show, $5. Thank you so much. Said, Gordon returns to the studio. The audience gives him an aneurysm. Pretty much.
I'm working on it.
You're working on the aneurysm. Samuel V gave us $6. Said, damn, I thought we were going to be home by now. No. Yeah. So Steve, what's new in your part of the world? Do you remember the very first episode that you listened to of The Full Nerd?
I think the first one was probably one of the ones you guys hosted at an event somewhere where I was bumbling around in the background trying to take photos and notes of some kind of product. I don't remember which one. I think it was an AMD event, I want to say. But yeah, that was because I had occasionally listened to the Maximum PC stuff when Gordon was doing that. But as far as like the first PC World one, I think it would have been at an event in the background, basically.
Yeah, the Maximum PC No BS podcast. I mean, that's when I started listening to Gordon.
I just know there's the soundboard from it.
Not anymore,
Yeah.
because it's
really?
built on Flash, so it's dead.
No.
Yeah. So
I've tried to find a browser that I could run Flash on, but I've not successfully found one yet. So.
And who built that again?
I was a fan of the podcast.
Oh.
I can't think of his name, unfortunately, because I have no brain anymore. So
Wasn't it
my
in the
memory
URL?
capacity- It's in the URL, actually.
Yeah. I'll look for.
And I thought he had actually sent me the
Soundboard.
Swift file, but it's buried on a hard drive in a cage somewhere. So
Lee Dash.
yeah, Lee Dash. So I should try to.
Oh yeah, it was hosted on their website, but yeah, Adobe Flash Player no longer supported.
Yeah, I mean it's still there. It's just that you have to be able to enable Flash on it, and I guess Flash is so radioactive that it's been erased from the memory of the planet. So
Yeah, I mean most of the content from people on your team that I consumed was pretty much all written for the longest time, and I did read Maximum PC. I would normally buy it in basically in the effectively bookstore across from the high school. And actually, Gordon, you indirectly got me towed when I was a high schooler because I went in to buy a Maximum PC magazine. I parked my car and I came out and it was gone.
Oh,
So
how
thanks,
long?
Gordon.
How long were you in that? You couldn't have only been looking at a computer magazine, Steve. We know
Yeah, I
you were
think,
browsing other
They
magazines. in that
claimed
place.
that I parked for another business.
Oh, but still, like, you gotta. How fast would they? I mean, that's amazing that they would show up that quickly.
I learned later they camp and wait for people to park in the wrong spot, and then they swoop in and get their $180.
Oh,
yep.
did you have to pay the impound fees? Did they like not?
No, I paid $180 though to get it back, but there was no extra fees on top of that.
That's not
I
too
did
bad.
get the Maximum PC magazine though.
Do you remember what was in that issue? Or I'm just trying to think of what.
I remember an Alienware ad.
Oh yeah, no, we had a lot of those. So
I'd definitely still have it. I'll have to pull it out. I'll
God,
send it to you.
$180. That's like San Francisco prices almost. Although it's probably the $1,800 would be San Francisco prices now.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you with a Sharpie. You can sign it for me.
And I'll send you $180 check, I guess. But I have to send it in the night. I guess it'd be like what 10-year.
You gotta do the
Yeah,
inflation.
Inflation price.
No, I would do the paying back. It's probably $18 now. Like you'd have to like.
How does that math even work?
Reverse inflation.
Because
Yeah, he wants to pay you less.
I want to pay
Steve,
him
He wants to pay you less.
$180 now, but I'm trying to convert that to.
Well,
I ain't got that
we
kind
still
of
need
money.
to get Steve to sign the tools. You remember your
Oh
your
yeah,
plan?
yeah,
I've
I
been
can
meaning
do that.
to.
To do
The
a
cheap-
trade. Speaking of trades, do you two still remember when we crossed the streams?
Yeah, that
Oh
was. fun.
yeah. Yeah, what you were overclocking something or
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and
it
we
was
were
probably
going
one of those
live and
streams.
we went live with you going live and
It was Friday. We've
you
been
turned
drinking beer.
your TV.
yeah. Right.
I thought that was neat though because we actually could see the latency of YouTube, of two live streams kind of colliding. So our problem is we left the volume up too high.
Gordon, what's with all the hand gestures?
Because I'm in the studio now. When you're on the green screen at home, like the arms get a little weird. So now I can, and then also
now
in
we
real
can
time,
talk with complete.
Yeah.
so I can move the arms.
You got to gesture,
Like, so
gesticulate.
and it's not like nanometer talk. We're just
Reining it in. But episode 4, we had a segment going back to the earlier GOAT discussion. The question is, how much of a mess up is the RX 480 and can it be fixed? So I guess in episode 4, we thought it was a mess up.
huh?
Ooh, Brad, do you remember that?
Yes, it was drawing too much power to the motherboard slot, so they had to put out the
Oh yeah.
BIOS updates.
That is true.
Did that?
They also ran. Brad, were you at the event? I think it was in Macau where they announced the card. Were you there?
No, I've never been to Macau.
Okay. So they had this event anyway. They showed the SLI 480s versus like whatever Nvidia's. It might have been a 1080 at the time, or Crossfire 480, sorry. And I just remember that was like the if you buy two of these, it's cheaper, than their flagship, and it's better. But then of course the typical kind of multi GPU disappointment of everyone wants to use those PCIe slots, and most games just wouldn't support it.
I had no
When I
idea they
saw
pushed
that,
it.
when I saw that, I remember that presentation. I watched the stream, obviously, and I'm like, man, this thing must suck if this is what they're going on TV to do. And it turned out being a great. We're still talking about was Polaris the GOAT, but it's like, what the heck are they thinking going up there showing this like this?
Well, it's a classic. You have to have some strength because they'll want to go like, well, okay, this is it's well priced, but don't you have something to compete with your competitor's best product? And if you don't have some answer, even though it's multi-card, then investors and the community is like, well, they're not in front, so I want to buy the one who won the race. I mean, that's just again a testament to the bigger bar is better, right? The one that's faster is what gets all the attention. So, you know what? Maybe run 3 RX 480s. Did they have?
Why not?
Did they have a 3? I don't think they had a 3-way Crossfire. I'm trying to think at that point.
I don't remember that well. I want to say yes, but yeah, we always had so much trouble getting it to run in anything more than a handful of games, that my memory is not very good on it. But I mean, did you see the rumors though about AMD maybe abandoning the high end for this next GPU generation?
Yeah, I've seen the rumors.
Did you guys already cover that in an episode? Did you have any thoughts on it?
I don't think we actually talked about whether with that last episode we just talked about basically Radeon is, I don't remember getting into it, but
we didn't talk about the rumors that like the actual wafer allocation and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know I guess I can see that if they think they can't really go toe to toe with whatever the next gen, why do it? I don't know if it's necessarily that AMD has given up on competing at the high end, or Nvidia has just moved the chain so far down the road. It's just like, because I mean, 5090 could literally probably be. I mean, I predicted it's going to be about $1,900. I think it might be $1,800 to $1,900, and it could potentially offer so much performance that, like, look at 4090, right? I mean, 4090 was a runaway success, surprisingly, at 1500.
Well, it's the current GOAT, according
it's
to you
still,
earlier.
But at the same time, well, the insane thing about it, 4090 was the value buy for a while, right? It was like literally the value buy. It's like, wow, you're getting so much performance. I guess I won't eat this month, but it's the best card out there. I could see 5090 moving it so far down. It's not, I wouldn't say that AMD's giving up on the high end. It's just that the high end has just moved to such ridiculous levels that I could see the math at AMD going, look, do we really want to make a card that's going to run up against, to try to compete here, and then still we know our brand is still frankly not popular with gamers, unfortunately, and that's just the way people are. Why try to fight a 5090 and for not enough margin to make it count? So let's stick to our plans of making a high end, and if Nvidia wants us to make this $2,000 graphics card, I guess just kind of let them float there, right? So there's still I would think from AMD's point of view, there's still plenty of money if they have a reasonably priced card, because again, their XTX cards are still really good cards. Everything they have is good, even though I guess there's some revisionism saying that RDNA 3 is bad now or some reason. But,
yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah,
I don't understand that, how it went from like good to bad suddenly, but I still think, it's perspective. Again, if 5090 is like up here, they've just moved, they've just changed the game. But why get your ass kicked and you can't compete on price?
Beep.
So I think you could say that on TV now. I don't know if that's. I mean, not Disney Channel, but
I
don't want to
sponsorship.
crash your party too much. But congrats on the episode 300, though.
Thank you,
Steve. And you've been how many
Appreciate
episodes
you,
have you been on?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
A good handful, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first one you were on. It was like real dark. You were just like a real dark environment, and you know, it was very ominous.
Generally, the vibe when I work.
I think that was actually the last time I was in San Francisco. Actually,
Really?
I was out there. Yeah, I haven't been out there since the pandemic.
Yeah, we did that one. We did one with Wendell as well.
Oh yeah.
And then one
AMD,
with
right?
Will. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no.
yeah, congrats though on the 300 episodes. That's
Thank
awesome.
Thank you, and thanks for coming in. And you know, congratulations. And you know, we should have you back on because I would love to talk about, you know, obviously your latest, you know, expose investigative series.
Sure.
A lot of people want to talk about that, and you know, maybe it's actually a good launching point for whether it's something that needs to be done more, you know, by everybody else. Too,
Sure.
right? 'Cause
Yeah. I'm
I've
sure
seen
there'll be
perspectives.
There'll probably be more on that topic too.
Yes.
So we'll see how Computex goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before you go, friend of the show, VC Jester, gave us another $5. Thank you so much, and said, Steve, when are you going to start wearing a detective hat and a trench coat? Good question. Like Carmen
Detective
Sandiego
hat.
style.
What qualifies as a detective hat?
I think it's got to be that one that kind of angles down, right?
Yeah, the fedora.
I don't know I think if I put a fedora on, then I like qualify as Reddit full on neck beard. You know? I don't know if that's going to be the best look.
But what if it's in red?
So I would have passed on that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hope to see you again soon. You will be at Computex, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll see you
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
See you
man.
guys.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
Thanks for stopping by.
Take it easy, dude.
A couple more super chats. Skeet Sayer, friend of the show, Skeet Sayer, gave us $2 Canadian. Said, please discuss Helldivers 2.
A lot of bugs.
Oh boy. Well,
I
now
love
they're
Helldivers.
outraged.
That's a funny answer, Elena.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think they've effectively killed the game? I had this long discussion with my son last
they
night.
came back. They rolled it back. They're not
Oh,
gonna
they have
retire it.
already?
Yeah, yeah.
Between last night and now, they basically
Sony caved and they said, hey, we're not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Do you think it has
To me, Helldivers 2, the requirement to have outside launchers isn't unusual at all. It's, you know, Ubisoft does that. EA does that. All these companies do it. The problem is selling it in countries where PlayStation Network isn't allowed, so those people couldn't even functionally play the game. And also trying to shoehorn it in 3 months later.
Yeah.
So I'm really, 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 really glad that Sony reversed its decision on this. It's the right call in this particular case. I think people are hoping that means in the future Sony is not going to include PSN requirements. I think it's the opposite. I think they're definitely still going to include them, but they're going to make sure that they're
Yeah.
I mean, it's a damn fun game. I actually do feel like you would like it. Like something about that game, I feel like is up your alley.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's no World of Warships, but I mean, what can
What
be
is?
right?
Yeah. I just do. So has the reception been like, oh, I'm glad you did the right thing, and all is
No, the
forgiven by
reception
everybody?
was like cheers, like at the end of a Helldivers mission, there's a lot of like celebrating and fist pumping, and like it feels like that we won, we beat Sony, like they listened to us, yeah. Democracy reigns, you know. Yeah, it's all about
It's an
democracy in
interesting
that
take
game.
on a parody.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's like I think that's why people are loving it so much.
Okay, so people
Hey,
actually
Gordon.
forgive. It's all is forgiven.
They had a couple 100,000 negative reviews. That was their review bomb. And in the past, since they've reversed the decision, they've already got, I think, 75,000 positive scores. So
okay.
the community is trying to get it back up now.
That's pretty smart, right? Because although you have to wonder, like, making that decision in the first place, you knew that was going to go exactly the way it did.
No, not from Sony management. It came from Sony.
Did it come from
management.
Sony Japan? Because if it came from Sony Japan,
Yeah.
that is not going to be in their equation at all.
It seemed like it came from the high ups. Like, oh my God, this is a huge success. You need to throw that in there so we can start capturing some information on these people.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but to me, the outrage was doing it retroactively, right? 'Cause
And then denying it in countries that it was previously being sold.
But I mean,
so
if
delisting.
they had already had that and you couldn't play it in those, you know, then it wouldn't have mattered.
it would have been different. Yeah.
So
I called in resident Helldivers expert Will Smith
We have
Oh.
a guest.
to talk. Yeah. We have Will Smith on the line joining us to talk about Helldivers. If there's anybody
Hello.
who knows democracy, it's Will.
I love managing democracy at a high level. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Well, were you one of the people who review bombed the Steam page?
As somebody who has been on the other side of the Steam reviews, I would never, ever review bomb anyone because, like, just the mental toll that answering Steam reviews all day takes on even a game that's reviewed pretty well. So it's not, don't do that to people. Be nice to people. The thing I loved about this whole Helldivers thing, happy 300th, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I should say, episode 2, guest episode 2, Will Smith.
3, I think.
No,
right?
it was 2.
3. It was 2. Okay.
Well, because we had an episode 0, so you were on the third. No.
Wait. So is it? Are we using 1900 rules, where 1900 is the last year of the 18th century,
Oh my god.
So
no, you're episode 3.
Okay.
Which was actually episode 4, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
Stop confusing everybody.
Okay.
You're on episode 3.
The thing that I loved was on Friday afternoon, the Helldivers, somebody from Arrowhead, the Helldivers developer, came on their Discord and was like, "Yeah, we didn't know that this was coming. We didn't do this. We think it was a stupid idea, and we're gonna do what we can to make it not happen." Because, like, if Sony knew they were gonna do this, then whoever was on the release management side at Sony shouldn't have like made the game available. When you set a game up on Steam, you say what countries it's going to go on sale in, and like at some point on some checklist someplace, somebody should look and say, "Oh, okay, we don't have this service available here and there. Don't sell it there because it won't work." Anyway, like I'm glad it all worked out. That's the good. Yeah. That's the good.
Democracy reigned.
Yeah, democracy for the win.
I'm just surprised that they would try to do it. I mean, because it's such a boneheaded move in the first place. But you know.
That's a business management. Somebody in a suit somewhere said it'd be smart to get all these people onto PSN.
Well, and the thing is, there's people on Steam hate third-party logins, like really dislike them.
Right.
Even when it's like a Microsoft one or an Epic one that happens invisibly in the background. The reason there's a thing that happens with third-party logins where, because of GDPR and the California version of GDPR, where if you collect data on people, you have to be able to delete it if they ask for it. And because the first Helldivers probably wasn't actually a big enough game to have triggered the requirements for a lot of that stuff, because it has to be more than, I think, 250 or 300,000 users. With Helldivers 2, they immediately blew right through that in like the first week. And probably the Sony lawyers got involved. We're like, hey, we have to have a way to be able to delete this stuff, which is why, like, for the game I worked on, we had to have a third-party account tied to our company because we had a bazillion people playing on Game Pass. And as a result, that meant if somebody in Germany was like, hey, man, I want you to delete all of my data, we had to have a user account that they could tie to that would allow us to do that. And so we had to have the stupid third-party sign-in checkbox, even though there was no account you had to create. The only reason it was there was so that no one could ever send us an email and say, hey, I want you to delete all my user data. So like whether it's Epic or Microsoft or Sony or whatever, like, people shouldn't get so upset about I get the data privacy. This is all because these disclaimers exist because of GDPR. You probably wouldn't have had a PSN sign-in requirement if it weren't for that. Anyway.
So
that's my high horse.
I mean, it feels like they could be, communication is the problem. If you explain that there are legal requirements up ahead, then people go, oh, okay, I get it. I mean, there's people who are always going to, no.
They don't care. They just still yell at you for the same way.
I mean, there's always going to be some people yell, but the reasonable people understand, like, there are legalities, I would think. So
I wish they had, said something, if that was the case, if it is because of GDPR, say, hey, we're going to have to do this because it's so popular, we have to. Sorry, guys. As a reward, here's this super sick stratagem you can only get once you link your thing to the PSN network, just like Epic used to do with to force 2FA.
Well, and the real happy news for someone at Arrowhead now is that they're going to have to build a whole GDPR compliance backend for the Arrowhead account that exists when you sign into the game now, instead of just using the stuff that's already probably built into PSN. So congratulations, faceless backend engineer at Arrowhead.
Ooh, yeah. Thanks for
enjoy
doing that
your
work.
next 6 months.
Well, Will, before you go, I have a question that I haven't asked you. I didn't prep you. An honest answer. When Gordon first messaged you and was like, "Hey, listen, we started this podcast over at PC World. Can you come be a guest on it?" What was your thoughts? And
Hell yeah.
when you came in here and you saw this ragtag operation, you were like, "What the hell is this?"
You guys. So you started in what? This started in 2016, 2017.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was. I'd left Tested for all intents and purposes like a year before. And like when they stopped doing the Maximum PC podcast, I was really bummed because it was like a regular listen for me, even after for 5 however long it went after I left Maximum PC, just because it was a nice convenient way for me to keep up with what was going on in hardware. And I love to, like, even though I didn't see Gordon as much as I did when we sat across the wall from each other. It was a way for me to catch up and feel like I still got to talk to my friend every once in a while. So I was stoked that you guys were doing it, and I'd like to say I believed from the beginning that you'd hit 300 episodes. But podcasts at magazines are a challenging business sometimes. So congrats, you guys persevered and made it happen.
Oh, thanks, Will.
Yeah, thank you. 300. It's crazy.
300. See y'all.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Bye, everybody. Congratulations.
We'll
Save a
see you in a
cupcake
bit.
for me.
Oh, I will.
Bye.
I'm going to get back over to some super chats because they continue to pile up. Thank you so much.
Yay.
We got that
Thanks,
one.
everyone.
Monkey Go Banana gave us $3 sticker. Thank you so much. The sticker is fist bump. Fist bump to you. Monkey Goes Banana. Thank you. Mercury S gave us £5. Said, congratulations, everyone. Here's to the next 300. Lots of 300s. Thank you. Friend of the show, Genever1G1 gave us a $5 super chat. Said, Mac is not a PC because you don't own it or have the right to repair the corporate leased Apple pewter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair point.
Monkey Go Banana gave us another super chat, $3 this time. Thank you so much. Said, great to see the entire cast. Gordon back at the helm. Same.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what's really cool? I'm gonna jump in here for a second.
Please.
Something that's really cool to me about the Full Nerd is that we did start this 8 years ago, 2016, whenever it was, and we're still the same core group. Like, you don't see that if you go look at any other podcast. It's not the same core group. So I'm just super jazzed that we all actually like each other and work well together, and nobody has rage quit. So that's it.
What are you talking about, Brad? You suck.
There is something to be said for that, because there's a lot of podcasts that I listen and watch that you could see there's real, like, wow, do these people even like each other? We obviously disagree on some things. There's a little bit of yelling and stuff, but for the most part, we have a great time.
It's fun.
We just are nerds that like hardware, and that's fundamentally what everybody is, right? And everybody likes each other. So that's a really good point, Brad. I'm something to be said for that.
I like it. And we got another $5 super chat from John McDonald. Said, congratulations on number 300 from Brad's neighbor.
Yeah, he's my new neighbor. What's up, John?
Is he looking through the window, wondering why you're wearing what you're wearing?
It's like, hey, Brad, you might want to close the window. Your blinds are
Hey, dude, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Welcome. So
he just built a sick custom, like bent his own tubes kind of water cooled.
Nice.
And it's amazing.
That's serious.
That sounds like something that should be shared in the PC Photos channel on our Discord server.
Yeah, when did we start our Discord server? Do you remember?
2019 is when I started it.
Jeez.
Because I was like, there's this new thing that all the kids are doing.
Yeah. Hey, should we do this? And I was like,
I came to you because I was like, should we do this? And you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, it seems like a thing to do. And so I started the server.
Well, it's a
and
good
then
call.
you started promoting it. So now we've got a great crew of people that's hanging out there.
Well, and actually, you know what? I totally forgot. We should have done this beforehand. Wow, I need to keep, sorry. We need to pause for a second and bang it into people's heads. The Full Nerd is going to be moving on YouTube to a new channel at the Full Nerd Podcast, and not AT, it's an @ symbol. So youtube.com/@ the Full Nerd Podcast is where you want to go subscribe, because after episode 305, we're no longer going to be going here on the PC World channel. So yeah, if you want to continue to watch us live, go subscribe over there. There's a link in the description. Hopefully, Willis can put it in the chat. So go subscribe over on youtube.com /@ symbol. Sorry, @ symbol the Full Nerd Podcast. to continue to watch us live, continue to watch the episodes after they go up. So there's going to be a little bit of a crossover for these first like handful of episodes where we're going to go live on the PC World channel like we've always done, but then afterward it's going to go unlisted, and we're going to take the recorded version and put that up on the new channel. And then in the future, after a handful, we're just going to go live on the new channel. Nothing is going to go on the PC World channel anymore. The playlist will still be on the PC World channel, so you can still see the playlist there. But yeah, if you want all those notifications and bell ringing and all that kind of stuff, that's where you want to get. I totally forgot to say at the beginning. Yeah,
before you forget.
Yeah. So I do want to get to something that I thought would be fun. We friend of the show, Ivan R, said, please give us a tour of the hardware on the wall
we meant
behind
to get
us.
To that like half an hour
I
ago.
know, yeah, and why it's there. So I had Alex grab. I'm gonna have to ditch the headphones. So Brad, I can't hear you, but I had Alex grab the long XLR cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
So I can give a little tour. It's okay. So we have some tools. We have had people ask us in the past, hey, do you actually use these tools? And the answer is no, not really. It's more just for set dressing we kind of put over there. Actually, every once in a while we'll use the pliers, right? We have our 100 subscriber play button, but then I was like, we got to put some PC stuff up here. So Gordon, tell us what is this board right here? It says Intel. This is an Intel board. I see an Intel logo.
Let me change my glasses here.
I can't tell what socket this is, but it says. Yeah, we honestly just kind of had some boards laying around, and I was like, "Hey, Gordon, what old boards could we put up on the wall
And
to just kind of show off?"
For audio listeners, the motherboards we're looking at are in color, so that should give you an idea of what era, at least, that we're starting.
Yeah,
with.
the actual PCB is like a green. Gordon, do you know what board this is?
This board is an actual Intel desktop board, like when Intel made. Looks like it's the 775, so it's a LGA 775 board. So probably Pentium 4, could be a Core 2 board, but it's an actual Intel board from the days when Intel actually made this board. PCIe, so it's not AGP, so it's not that old. So it's pretty standard. I'm gonna guess. Well, it's upside down. What's the actual?
Yeah, it's upside down. Would this be it? No. It's hard. It's on the back wall, so yeah, whatever.
Retro Sean asks, are those the motherboards that are in our pre-show thumbnail?
Oh, one of them is.
One of them, right? It's not all of them.
Yeah, no, because the one that's in the thumbnail, crap, I can't remember. Oh, wow.
Is it the bottom left, right one?
Yeah, it could be this one. So this next one is an MSI board. It looks like it's AM4, AM3. No, DDR3. So it's probably AM3. Yeah.
Gordon, if you can, after you take a look.
Yeah, Gordon's giving a look at it, but yeah.
Good look.
It actually says Crossfire X on there.
Oh, nice. And THX, a THX certification logo on it. Above that one is an ASRock A75 Pro 4. This also looks to be, it's got DDR3. So these are probably of the same era. Oh, also THX certified on the board. And then over here is Gordon's favorite. Gordon, what's this one?
It's a BTX motherboard out of a Dell system. So do we want to?
Well, it actually still has the CPU in the socket too.
Yeah.
No, if there's enough interest, let us know in the chat. But I was actually thinking maybe there might be enough interest to do like a full tour of the set, because we have GPUs over here. We actually have some like special edition items too, like this Project Quantum, like things that like history, or like the i9 box
that you broke,
that I broke. So I trying to put some stuff on the back set that's we got some history. We have some stuff that kind of just looks cool and nerdy. I will say, I mean, this room originally was a photography studio, and then at some point I was like, hey, I mean, we have another studio, and we were literally doing everything out of there. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we made an actual studio just for PC World that's like actually nerdy and stuff? Because the other set's not very nerdy.
Yeah, it's
And so, yeah, I mean, I got approval, but it was also kind of a skunk work kind of thing where I took over the room. I mean, it was just sitting here. It was not doing anything. It was minding its own business.
We tend to go rogue
wait.
here.
Yeah.
when nobody's
is
looking.
Mona still here?
Mona's right there.
Oh,
nice.
So, yeah, Mona's still here. But
That's our mannequin.
yeah, so yeah, no, I was like, oh, hey, let's do this. I mean, we had a lot of the lighting gear already had purchased, so we just repurposed it. You know, it had rails in here because it was a photography studio, so the rails were already in place. And then we got a bunch of the furniture from down in storage. So we just kind of hobbled this thing together, and we're like, we got to throw some stuff up on the wall. So yeah,
It's nice.
it's fun. It's actually still works. It's
Worked out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell the story of that. Did you tell the story of that i9 box?
No, maybe we'll say if people want an actual
People should ask. 'cause
full
it's a
tour,
really
yeah.
good
So
Yeah.
it looks like Ruru 2 at least likes it. Oh, and Bob Jones, yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe we should do an actual tour of the set because
People like that.
I think it'd be fun.
They like behind
yeah.
the scenes looks.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff in here. I mean, yeah, I mean, so I don't remember. Do you remember? Did we build this set specifically for the Full Nerd, or did we build it for PC World? I think actually, now that I think about it, I think we built it because this was going to be our live set.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, we used to do the Macworld podcast live as well, and the Macworld podcast used to stream out of here too, because this was like the streaming set.
Well, there's PC World.
And there was a PC World
Shows.
podcast
Well, and then
as
there
well.
was the
Podcast,
PC World
short-lived.
show. Yeah. Oh, and then another IDG.TV show.
Yeah, was it the battle one?
I don't War of the Worlds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That one
okay,
lasted
yeah. Now that
very long.
no.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
PTSD'd that right out of my brain.
Yeah, so yeah, now I think about it, yeah, we probably built this not specifically for PC World, but to stream, and then we're like, oh, if we're gonna make it look like something, let's make it look like a nerd garage kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the other set looks more like a loft to living room kind of
Mm-hmm.
space. So
If you wanted to make it look like a nerd garage, you could have used Gordon's desk, except for nobody could fit in there with a camera.
yeah. We're gonna need a real long lens. 'Cause
Yeah.
we gotta shoot at a distance.
Snipe it.
yeah. So thank you, Ivan, for bringing that up. Good question.
Let's see. Falcon Northwest is in the house.
Hello. Hello.
Said, hey, PC World, remember, if you hit 500,000 subscribers, Gordon will wear a Sailor Moon outfit to CES 2025. I screenshotted his post.
I forgot that.
I will. Yeah, sure. I don't know
they
where you
didn't
get a
forget.
Sailor Moon outfit in my size. I'm sure they'd have those.
We'll find it.
get 'em.
We'll find it. No,
Yeah.
or we'll have some
Yeah,
custom make it.
we'll hire somebody.
Tailor it for you.
We will hire somebody.
I'm sure Adam has connections for that.
Maybe the thing to do is I'll see if I can get Charlie from Semi Accurate to dig up his bunny outfit. Charlie's known for.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Charlie used to show up at events wearing a bunny outfit, just to and people would be like, "What?"
I had never seen
like,
that.
and I mean like Intel press briefings or something like that. Like,
That's a choice.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
It's great.
Do we get any super chats in that I need to get to? It looks like it. Crazy Booyar gave us £5. Thank you so much. Said, did Chewbacca shave his beard? Sorry, Brad. Love you all. Big UK Booyar. Big fan UK. Did Brad? You didn't shave your beard.
I'm bald on the top. I wish it was
Oh, shave his head. I'm sorry. Shave his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you didn't shave it. It's just it's a permanent shaving.
Yeah. I need to get a cut, actually. It's long for me right now.
Well, there
But
you go.
I cut my hair this morning. I don't know if there's.
Oh, are we all
You got to
showing off?
Yeah, Gordon's got his typical streamer beanie.
Whew, it's just cold in here.
It's cold in
It
here.
is freezing in here. So
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
no, it's all right.
Yeah,
It's
we keep it cold. Cold is funny. Cold
the
is
top
humor.
part of my head matches Gordon.
There you go. Oh, can I get to something?
Aw.
It's something topical. Let me. I gotta go get.
all right, go for it.
Oh.
All right, what should we should talk about while Adam is getting stuff.
So what's your favorite memory, Gordon?
Again, Hayden, that time he got that keyboard thing was just like I swear to God, I thought he was cheating. So
Yeah.
I like that crossing the streams experiment because I thought that was really cool to see the latency of YouTube streams in real time. That was just obviously the effect of too much beer on a Friday afternoon. I think a lot of them are just having we've had some really good quality guests on guests and interviews that's what I really enjoy because and again I know people don't realize this, but there are real humans that love the PC. They love the PC hardware with their passion, and to be able to sort of get those people in front of the camera to show that they're real people and to get that in-depth look at hardware, I think is a very valuable thing because oftentimes people only see the hardware and they don't remember that there are real people who pour their heart and soul into making it. So that's what I've always enjoyed, being able to talk to the people who make all the hardware, because they do work hard here. No matter what you think again about their company or the policies or whatever, that is typically 50 levels above the people that we have on the show to talk about the hardware. So again, somebody at Sony made a call to try to kill Helldivers. Somebody, and the person who makes the game has nothing to do with that. So I really have enjoyed that. So I think if I were to say, it's all of those moments, all of the great people, really, really smart people who have made the PC what it is today. So I do appreciate that, and sometimes you got a good product, sometimes you got a stinker, but hey, that's the way it goes. You can't win 100% of the time. So those are my favorite moments.
Yeah, we have had some good interviews.
Yeah,
really excellent ones.
Yeah. When actually that first company one, or the first person there representing a company, was episode 10 with Tom Peterson when he was still in NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, and that was really good. I thought that was a great interview too, because Tom's a great interview. So
yeah, that was a good chat. That's fun times. Well, speaking of keyboards, so I'm continuing down my keyboard journey. I know we've been talking about it, little drip here and there, and at some point I want to do a live build. To recap, I have a bunch of keycaps. That's where I started.
Are you making a pun?
No, I know. Oh, recap. And I get that. Yeah. So I started with the caps because I kept finding caps that I liked, and then
that's a rabbit hole, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know. And luckily, we do have people on staff like Mike Kreider. He's a big keyboard guy. Will. Is a big keyboard guy as well. So, and Elena appreciates keyboards. And so I was like, okay, maybe we should start doing that. But yeah, I'm taking it slow because I'm also scared and worried. But I did the next leap. I bought, I did buy some bare bones kits, just some basic ones, mostly Keyrons or Chiron. No, Keyron.
Keychron, right?
Keychron. Ugh.
Keychron.
Yeah. Keychron. Thank you. Like some bare bones kits to build in, but then I was down in San Jose last weekend, and it was there's a little shop down there. Somebody I'd met at another event. Her name's Tiny, and she has a little shop called Tiny Keyboards, and it's literally just this little hole in the wall, not a hole in the wall, but it's a nice shop. I don't mean that as a negative, but yeah, it's just like a little shop.
Intimate.
Yeah, thank you. And it was just like, oh wow, this is like all keyboards. Like it's all it was good. Keyboards, keycaps, specialty keycaps, all that kind of stuff. So I bought some stuff. The next step in my journey is I bought switches because I did get that tester recently, so I started testing. So yeah, I've officially gotten 3 bags of switches, which based off the tester, I was like, okay, I like the, and I keep messing this name up, Kali? I want to say Kali.
Kali,
yeah.
Okay, so Kali Box Jade is one of the, I like Clicky. Kali Box Navy, that's the other, sorry. And then they had one there that I had never seen before, and I was like, I definitely want to get these ones because I like the feel, and it's a Gatoron Melodic Clicky.
Ooh.
So,
Gatoron, I think.
Gatoron
Pronunciation.
Yeah,
Can you
please.
hear it from the mic?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if it's gonna pick up
I've
very
tried
well, but-
Gatorons before. I kind of like them. They're very clicky.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and clicky. It does have an interesting feel to it, and definitely different than like the box Navy and the box Jade. Those definitely feel very close and like similar to each other. But the Gatoron,
I think it's Gatoron.
I don't know. So here's the box Navy, and here the melodic.
This is pretty cool. I mean,
Turn into an ASMR stream.
Yeah.
I like
fun.
it, but does this mean like we've just run out of things to do on the PC? Like, have we? I mean, like, because you can't, overclocking admittedly is not anything most people do as a daily driver. But I'm just kind of wondering, like, people are just looking to invest, like.
No, because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who got into it during the pandemic because they were like, "Oh, well, I'm bored. I want to, build stuff," and it's a different way to have like an aesthetic setup, right? Because I know a lot of Mac people who are into keyboards actually, and they still like building their keyboards, but they're not into like building PCs. So the guy at the store. So Tiny wasn't there, but it was another guy working, and I was chatting with him. He helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Tiny Keyboards. I follow him on Instagram. I don't know if they have a website or something, but yeah. So the guy I was talking to, I was like, oh yeah, I build PCs, and I'm starting to get into the keyboard thing. And he's like, oh, that's funny. I come at it from the other way. I started building keyboards, and now I'm looking into building PCs. So yeah.
Gateway drug.
It's but it's the same kind of thing, right? You get to build it how you want it. You get to tune it and change it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got some lube and a paintbrush. He helped me with some stabilizers, and I did get a couple boards, and I got another keycap set. So I was like, oh, these caps are actually pretty cool too.
You just have a pocket full of keycaps.
Did you get the kitty one?
Yeah, the kitty one.
I had already got that. I got one for you too. So yeah, it's over here. And I got a gift. I got a gift for Willis because I saw this and I immediately thought of Willis. So they had fidget items. So this is not what I got you. This is what I got for myself as a fidget item. It's literally a huge.
Whoa. Okay, I dig that.
For audio listeners, it's literally a huge switch, and it actually does click. Listen to this.
Well.
And yes, based on the sound, it is probably as large as you
clicky.
think it is.
Yeah,
I guess
the box itself says it's at least 3 times bigger, which is kind of funny, and it actually does work.
Size.
It is wired.
So here's the thing.
To work.
I would build a keyboard out of these. Can we build a keyboard out of these?
A giant keyboard?
I don't know. So this was a thing between Novel Keys and Kali. So yeah, it's called the big switch.
So you could actually wire up a macro to this and just like bam.
No,
yeah,
I'm sure let's build a full keyboard. I'm for audio listeners. Sorry, but
funny.
It's basically a keycap and switch that is 20 times the size.
The box
of
says at
one.
least 3 times bigger, which is funny.
No, I don't think it's
I
3
appreciate
times.
that they are being so careful with their math.
Yeah, it's at least 3 times.
Couldn't you just see having one that like the keyboard's as big as this table and you're just kind of
that would be hilarious. So they had a bunch of fidget items like that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy that one for myself, which then Lindsay actually stole. I had to steal it back.
What's the name of the shop in
Tiny Keyboard.
Tiny Keyboard. I'm sure they have a website.
I got stickers.
Tiny
Keyboard
The comments
shop.
are saying that they used to stream, I think, on Twitch as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, super cool stuff. No, but I saw a fidget item and I immediately thought of Willis, so I got it. It's a Yakult.
No.
With a little, and then you put your own little switch in here, and so you just sit there and like press the switch.
That's
awesome, man.
perfect.
Got you a gift.
Thank you so much.
I thought for a second you got him the White Rabbit keycap set that I had seen online because I had shared that with Willis.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It was so good. I was debating so hard to get it or not, and I was like, Elena, you don't even have any keyboards that you can put this on because you have to use a split keyboard. And I'm like, no.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, actually,
Yeah.
so when Adam starts doing his custom keyboards, maybe I'll invest in that as well. But then I also sent you on Discord. There was the Mahjong set keycap as well.
Mahjong one was
Mahjong
good
like
too.
keycaps?
Mahjong keycaps.
It was so good.
I know, it's so good.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up, everyone.
It's a rabbit hole, man. Like,
It really is. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm being very careful. But yeah, the tiny keyboard shop in San Jose, it's like right in downtown San Jose. Super cool little shop.
Yeah, and
So-
there isn't doesn't look like there's a URL, and it's very. You can tell you it's a young person here because it's basically an Instagram page for Tiny Keyboard Shop.
Yeah.
So,
Fun times.
Check it out.
So that's where I stand so far on my keyboard journey. I now have bags. Well, now I think I pretty much have everything. I only got one thing of stabilizers. I need to get more stabilizers before we do a build, but I think I think I have everything now to do a live build when we get to it. But I got for the boards that I got like 100, a 96, because I want the actual like keypad kind of stuff, but I might, maybe we should get in some smaller boards as well. No, actually, I did get one. I got in I got in the Omnitype Bayer Light 65%, which was kind of cool. So it's like see-through, like clear plastic for this board. So yeah.
is there no RGB?
Not on this one. No.
oh, interesting. Especially with that being a transparent case.
Yeah, they had different colors too. But yeah, I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff in. Maybe we'll just build a bunch of keyboards live, which would be kind of fun. So
folks in the chat are saying, build a giant keyboard. Now, I remember, what was that Tom Hanks movie where he was like stepping on, doing the whole choreography on the piano? Big. And it's like, we should build that giant keyboard. And then we're just like, typing and just, type. Yeah, exactly.
DDR.
DDR.
oh, that's funny. It's gonna be expensive though, because each one of these were $20.
Oh, okay.
I-
Maybe we
For a few
can.
years-
How about a 10 key? We just do the 10 key.
For a few years, Razer was dragging around a gigantic Black Widow to events. They could go and actually
You know what?
play games on the gigantic one.
I feel like we should get the companies together because we can do the giant, I guess, 10 key because of budget. But then we could also have that Corsair. Wasn't that that gigantic fan where they made it as a joke and everyone on the internet was like, we
The
want
wall.
one.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah,
And they're like, what is wrong with you people?
that was fun. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my. Elena, what have you been nerding out about lately?
I've been doing a lot of software coverage, so
Ooh.
I
mean, that's
suddenly
equally nerdy.
I've been suddenly blanking very hard right now on hardware.
The full software.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be hardware. What rabbit holes are you going down into in software?
Security related stuff. That's my current beat. Gosh, I feel like I'm on the spot right now
I'm
because I
sorry,
can't even
yeah.
think about what it is that I'm looking forward to. Like mostly, I've just been waiting for Computex because I feel like there's going to be a lot of just stuff probably coming out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping to see some more cool. Like speaking of 2016, for doing flashbacks here,
Mm-hmm.
I just remember Computex because they had so many really cool modded cases and like displays with builds. Brett, I don't know if you remember, was that the year they had the Thor's hammer, or was that a later year? Because that one
I've
really
never been to Computex.
right, but we had that slideshow. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you
I might
remember?
have been.
Do you remember when they did the Thor's hammer one build? Because that was so cool.
It was a
I
mod,
don't
or do you mean the
Yeah.
power supply? Because I think they're.
I think it was a modded
Okay.
case.
No,
It
the
was
power
like
supply is a
whole-
new thing.
It was like a whole build.
No, they had one at maybe 2018 Computex. It was somebody had taken an Asus power supply and made it look like Thor's hammer, I believe. So, I mean, it was kind of
Nice.
No, this is actually a full build, if I remember right.
okay.
Chat maybe remembers.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's my
security
favorite
stuff.
part of going to events. All those mods are out in force at events. So if you're ever able to go in your PC geek, just go just to see those.
Yeah, Computex is great for that too because the floor's usually got, I don't know, 30 or 40 different mods on the floor, and they're always like, wow, amazing.
Which is usually, and it's not showing off product necessarily, but it's just showing off like a fun spectacle at the booths. So
Yeah.
like when you're walking through the show floor, it's just like, oh wow, look at this one over there. Or who is it who has the overclocking competitions? Is it G-Skill?
Yeah, usually different vendors have them, but
Yeah.
G-School usually has
They
them.
usually have like a big row of like overclocking stations and then
Yeah.
like scheduled.
I don't think I've
overclocking.
ever seen any overclocker without a beard too. I don't know if that's some kind of like
Well, Brad,
at
you're set.
Computex.
Yeah. Brad, is that?
Ian actually came from competitive overclocking, didn't he? Ian Cuttress.
That's true. Dr. Ian Cuttress, Tech Potato.
He's here in the chat as
Ian,
well.
have you ever had a beard?
Oh. Hi, Ian. Has Ian ever had a
probably
beard?
confirm that, but there's definitely a lot of beards in the overclocking scene for some reason. So.
Oh, God, I would love to see Ian with a
Definitely.
beard. Sorry, Ian.
So now we know how Gordon like categorizes different camps within PC community. So like the streamers have the beanies,
Yeah.
the overclockers have the beards.
What are the keyboard people like?
Well, like you said earlier when you said Mac people, I said, well, that tracks. I mean, it really does, right? Because it's just like this kind of OCD thing. Like you could see, like, no, I don't want to generalize, but
I'm gonna.
most Mac people tend to be very neat, very organized. Like if you've ever seen Adam's office that he uses sometimes for videos, it's very clean. It's very organized.
Wait, you're calling me a Mac person?
You could be
You
a Mac
d-
user.
you did
That's a
come from
compliment
that
for
camp.
Mac people.
I have been
You
a
did
Mac.
come from that camp.
Now, my office looks like basically, was there an earthquake here? I can't tell because there's just everywhere. There's crap everywhere.
Good self-censor.
And it really is like,
He's like Disney.
we actually had like a house robbery one time. It was like, oh my God, they really tore things up when the police came over. Yeah, they sure did.
They're like, can you show?
Why? Sure is.
They're like, can you show us
Really
a photo of what it looked like
complete
beforehand?
disaster.
Oh, this looked exactly the same.
Yeah, you don't feel like, yeah,
You know,
okay.
I mean,
Just-
when you said that, I also agreed though with the whole it tracks thing because it's like most keyboards not super attractive, especially for a wired keyboard. But when you do a custom, you can do like the pigtail like kind of
Oh,
cabling.
I don't
that kind
have.
of stuff.
I don't have that.
Yeah, you need to
that,
get
that-
one of those.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah,
then
I
that you
know.
get your special USB-C cable,
Yeah,
and it's
I
got to
did
be
not
like
get that.
that.
Oh,
See,
I
but-
can't. Okay,
Come on, I'm not.
I'm not in the group.
That's the keyboard people because it's that like wow. I mean, like it's always like it's like a beautiful keyboard on a beautiful desk that's organized, wood grain somewhere. It's just like right. As a generalization, there are reasons why stereotypes exist, and I think it's very real.
Well, yeah.
Whereas mine, you couldn't tell, like, did you spill chili on here? Or is maybe
but do you,
6 years
I mean,
ago.
at least you don't have a dome keyboard, right? You don't have dome
Oh,
switches.
no.
Yeah. So you have a
I have an off-the-shelf Cooler Master keyboard,
Okay,
which
okay.
is, it's got the, I've had it for many years, and when I play games, I put about 600 pounds of pressure on it because of the effing idiots on my team. So now everything doesn't work.
Gordon's
So
a team
like I'll
player?
be typing and
Yeah.
it just doesn't respond stuff. So I need to switch it out.
She's like, oh, it's not responding to my hammering.
Yeah.
We have a couple fun questions I do want to get in here from the Discord. Willis, if I'm missing any, please feel free to jump in. We had a question from a while ago, but I knew I wanted to hold this from friend of the show, Ziv. Said, question for Gordon, do you have any keychain or mini flashlight recommendations? And for a regular size rechargeable flashlight, is something like the Phoenix PD35R a good choice for around $100?
For keychain, I have a Nightcore that's pretty nice, and
Can you spell that?
it's the Nightcore Tiny, I think, NITE Tiny 2. Just charges over USB-C. It's actually pretty bright, and
okay.
they're pretty affordable. Oh well, I mean, see, the thing is,
lumens.
it's about 500 lumens, and to me, it's pretty affordable. Of course, I like flashlights, so it's $40. But they've actually been clones of it now. Other makers are adopting the same design, but it's really nice because, if you've gone from your keychain light of, those little photons runs off CR2032s.
Yeah.
It's like that's the light they give you in the video game where you're like,
then
there's
you have
some
to,
kind of
you have to
alien in
hammer it.
here.
You're
Well,
like-
here's your flashlight. This is the flashlight you give me for the alien. Like, what is? So it's a real flashlight, goes on your keychain, Nightcore Tiny, and there's been a few other kind of clones of it. So I love it. I love mine. And then was a PD35.
PD35R.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Is
I
it-
have a PD25R, I think. So
So asking
see
if
which one
that's a
it is.
good one for around $100.
yeah, it's a little big. Like I like the PD25, and I think this has the same thing that where it has a built-in USB.
Oh,
Because it charges by USB if you unscrew it usually.
is the 25 the one that I have too?
No, I have the one that replaced that one.
Oh, okay.
So the PD35 is a little big.
that is.
Oh,
kinda
actually,
bigger,
it's in
huh?
my pocket, I think. Right
Of
here.
course.
Of course.
When is it not?
So I think like for a good pocket carry, it's like something like this. The USB-C is sealed up, so
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is newer than the one that I have.
Yeah, so
And
not
blind
right on watch.
everybody home
Sorry.
watching the podcast.
But yeah, no, this is
Nice.
that's a good flashlight. PD25R. I think the PD35 is a little big. I mean, I have some that are like that, but I think it's a little big. I would say the 25R is
Actually,
a good
this is
EDC
even bigger
light.
than mine.
Yeah, it's actually a little big.
Mine is
It's just big enough I can't fit it in the holster. So, but what I like is it doesn't have a stupid little rubber cover over the port. You actually unscrew a collar, so it feels like it's going to last a little longer.
Oh, for the charging.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
it's right here.
Yeah, mine has
Oh.
only just that little. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, so
stopper
Nightcore
thing.
Tiny or PD25R. I'm a big fan of Phoenix. I've
okay.
I have many different brands of lights, but Phoenix is actually a really good brand.
Oh,
for
so
money.
the one I have is an actual battery that has a micro USB plug into it.
so this you can just plug
this
in.
plugs straight into it. That's nice, and it's USB-C.
Yeah, and then it's, I guess, a luminous SST emitter. So
I don't
that's
know
a
what
type
that
of
means,
LED.
so, yeah.
It's just, they move on to the people who make the LEDs. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, Ziv, you have some buying advice.
Oh, yeah.
You got to start Flashlight World, the
Flashlight
hot new
World,
IDG
yes,
property.
yes. Where you have to buy an integrated sphere and all kinds of stuff.
There you go. CosMC has two important questions. One is Gordon keyboard and mouse versus Adam controller when? First game Tekken 8. Don't you know his feelings on fighting games?
Well, that's a fighting game.
yeah.
Like, I swear to God, I still think I could do it. Like, Counter-Strike versus
He's gonna go to
me
Evo with
versus
this.
you, Luis, anybody else. I think it was Dan originally. We could throw another 3 people in there. You would all die because it's just not going to.
Yeah. Well, let's set it up. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Me
Yeah.
against the world.
Yeah.
you know?
We've been saying this for 8 years.
I know. Yeah.
I think the problem is setting it up is not easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Fun-
maybe
funny
we
how
should
that works.
maybe we should do a different game other than Counter-Strike.
Why? Because, I mean, that's a good game, right?
Well, but you said it's difficult to set up. Other games are not as difficult. to
Well,
set
I
up.
would want something where the controllers don't get aimbots. That's my reason. So
Okay.
you would actually have to play a game that you don't get the aimbot for the controllers.
Sure.
Oh,
Let's set it up.
okay. Yeah. Come on, man. You know you're gonna lose. Look, because it's just I've said this for years. It's this, right? Controllers are like
Controllers
this.
just shoot for you. Yeah, it shoots for you. You don't even have to touch the button.
No, I'm Brad, where are you on this?
I play with both. I play with controller fairly often, but keyboard and mouse all the way.
But I
Like,
mean,
if it's
controller for a shooter game where there's no aimbot.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's just
Yeah.
like ass kicking. Come on.
yeah.
Jeez. And then second question is, who currently holds the belt? We have the full nerd belt over there. I feel like you hold it. I feel like
Well, the last
got
time we
it for
used it
something.
as a prop was with the the loser contest. It was the slowest Cinebench score, remember? With Ian?
was it that?
Yeah, remember
Thank
we
you,
broke it
Alex.
out. There's a
Alex
video,
has the
PC World's website.
There you go. The belt
You could look
holder.
it up, and it was basically it was the lowest Cinebench stock score.
I don't think it was for that though.
Yeah, we
because this is
used
the
it.
PC World or the full nerd I'm right world champion.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So
but I
it was
thought
when
we
you
used
debate
it-
against something.
I think we used it as kind of a joke prop for that, but
Oh, in
Who
front of
did win
Ian.
this?
Oh,
For
yeah.
Ian?
I don't
Who
remember
did?
who in the chat remembers. Yeah,
oh, I think actually Brad didn't he? Didn't Brad win this?
I
We
can't
just
I
remember.
don't
have
know
not
why
sent
I
it
would
to
have,
you.
but I'll take it.
Yeah, it is a nice belt. Friend of the show, VC Jester, sent it to us. It's actually really quality.
Yeah.
There's, I'm sure some website that Please, somebody in the chat help us remember that one.
Willis, I like this poll.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Sowing chaos. I
Ian's
see.
saying I cheated. You know, I didn't realize that whole time I was
Ian.
referring to that as that video card. It wasn't even the right video card.
Yeah, it wasn't the right video card.
'Cause
But it doesn't matter. That it doesn't
It
change
was a
the
Vega
Cinebench
64,
score.
but I thought it was the other.
It doesn't change the.
I know it
Cinebench
didn't make
score,
a
though.
difference,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, the fact that I didn't even know what graphics card because
Ian says
that-
you cheated.
that graphics card had been erased from people's memories is kind of like a sad statement of that. The Vega 64.
Yeah. I'd like to hear Ian's
all right.
rationale for cheating.
Yeah, at the time, but it just really was like it felt like it lasted 6 months and then it was replaced.
Yeah.
We got some more. We got some more questions out here. Here's an interesting one from friend of the show, Retro Sean. How does it feel to have 300 podcasts notched? I don't know what notched means specifically,
Like
but
a notch on
it's
your
just
belt.
done. Yeah, yeah. How does it? Does it? In one hand, for me, it feels like it's a lot, but also it just I mean, we just do it every week and we have fun, and it's not a slog. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the best part of it, right?
Like,
And-
we're just hanging out. We're having cupcakes and just
I mean,
chatting about
honestly, Willis is the one who's working. He's actually
Yeah.
controlling the
Oh,
verticals and
okay.
horizontals.
Alex too.
Yeah. I don't even have to anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you. You've like ascended.
Something like that.
It's just part of my life, It's just like something we do every week.
It's like Taco
One of the-
Tuesdays, but Full Nerd Tuesdays.
Honestly.
Full
Yeah,
There you go.
when my house burned down and I couldn't do them forever, it actually felt really weird. It was like that's the part I miss from doing every week at work. So
Yeah. And then I will say, we couldn't do this without you. So the audience is really, like, honestly, we do feel like this is like, when you get together with your friends, you're sitting around the garage or leaning on the car after you've watched it, and you're just like, whatever, hanging out and just like shooting
In the breeze.
the breeze, as the play well to say this. But we do this for you because we understand this is like, if we could have everybody in the audience here just hanging out again, having a big party, talking PCs, talking technology, that would be great, but we can't. But I really feel like that's what makes it so much fun is we do this in a casual manner. We're not angry about stuff. We're not raging about stuff. We're just having a good time, and everybody enjoys the hardware and the technology. So
And honestly, I'm still surprised hundreds of people tune in and listen. In part of me, I'm like, man, people actually listen to this? Like, so I'm definitely thankful that everybody comes and hangs out and joins us.
Speaking to the whole thing about us having done this together as a cohesive group for 8 years, when we were all talking about it being episode 300, my first thought was, only 300? Because we see each other all the time. We talk to each other all the time. So for me, it was a little bit like, surely we've done more than that by now.
I know, right?
I was going through the playlist earlier because you can go through the full playlist like you were doing, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And when you count all the special episodes and everything, we're actually at 339.
Oh,
Nice.
Actually, yeah, but it would
Sure.
actually show in our spreadsheet too of the
Wait, is
videos
that
we've done.
with or without the half nerds?
That's probably with.
That's just
With.
it's the playlist.
Oh, okay.
It was so
Oh.
with. I left off the ones where we used to do it and split it into parts.
Oh,
There's
okay.
actually
That was I was going to
360.
ask. Yeah. Ian asked if there's going to be a full nerd at Computex. Yes, there will be a full nerd at Computex. Probably doing it on Thursday, trying to finalize the details.
close to the end of Computex. Yeah.
We will be doing it live from the Asus booth this year. So
Nice.
cool.
yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited. And Ian asked who's going. So yeah, it's going to be me, Willis, Alex, Mark Hockman, and then Will and Gordon are going to be holding stuff down from home base. We have some good ideas for Gordon to do some videos and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
One of these years I'll go. One of these years.
I know one of these years.
Oh, it's a great place to be. Taipei and Computex are awesome. It's like, as I've said, it really does feel like you've gone to a Star Trek planet where they base their entire society on the PC. So it is awesome.
Nerd heaven.
Yeah.
Nerd heaven indeed.
Speaking of nerd heaven, friend of the show, Mike Quinton gave us a $30 super chat. Thank you so much. Always appreciate it. Said
Thank you.
congrats. Thank you. I
Thank you.
really appreciate that.
Thanks,
and
Mike.
friend of the show, Genever1G1 gave us another super chat, $2. Thank you so much. Said shooters, I use keyboard and mouse except on handhelds. That makes sense. And then friend of the show, Coffee, gave us another super chat, $2 Canadian. Thank you so much. Said, have you ever contacted the Guinness Book of World Records? Probably not for the longest podcast run. We're definitely nowhere near one of the longest podcast series, but maybe probably not even for like PC specifically either.
No. I mean, because some people do it.
But have you ever, in
more
general,
than once.
have you ever reached out to Guinness for something?
I have not, but I remember it feels like either doing a story on it. It felt like you could reach out to them for anything. So it's like for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you can be nominated by anybody. Because I had this I'm not. Yeah, because
Including yourself.
I had a crazy person who was like saying I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Because she wanted to get into the college newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized apparently she had nominated herself or something. And that was just her way to get you to like.
I didn't know.
Brad already knew
That's
the story.
clever.
Wow.
I guess if
Clever,
you,
though. I admire the gumption there.
yeah, I know, right? It's like, if you just send the form in, I guess that's enough to say you were. It's an honor to be nominated.
I mean, yeah, like honestly, right? Like, if I walked around saying I was a Nobel Peace Prize nominated person, that carries weight.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Now I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't am I going to libel this person? But no.
We got a fun question here from Gentlestone. Is how I'm going to read it. What was everyone's first PC/computer? Do you remember your very first one?
Well, I'll go with my friend sold it to me. He had a business. He was trying to sell computers, so it was pre-built, and it was a desktop, IBM clone. It had a flip up, so it was cool because the original IBM, you had to unscrew it, and the entire thing would slide apart. It was kind of a pain to get inside. This had a flip up case. You push these two tabs, two buttons, and the entire top would flip up. And it was built on an NEC V20, which was a clone x86 chip, 8 megahertz. So, no, wait, maybe it's 20 megahertz. I can't remember. No, it was probably 8 megahertz. That was my first actual PC. I wouldn't call the VIC-20 a PC again.
What'd you do on it?
Oh, God.
Like what was your use case?
I think the primary use was word processing. And then also, that was back in the modem days. So you would just use your modem and you would download things, and you would also go on to BBSs. So,
Gosh, I was
Usenet,
trying to.
baby.
I was trying to explain what a BBS was to someone the other day, and that was difficult.
Well, imagine a chat room. Oh wait, what's a chat room? Yeah.
Imagine Discord, but you have to log in with a modem. It's basically how.
And it's all text based.
Yeah, I guess something like Discord is like modern day equivalent, huh? I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. A lot of those early BBSs, at night, they would call each other to relay the information, so you could sort of
oh, that's cool.
Pony Express it across the world that way.
Yeah, I remember playing games on the one that I logged into.
So what was your first PC then?
That wasn't on my first PC.
Oh.
The first PC I ever got my hands on was in 88 that my cousin had been purchased. Like someone had purchased it for my cousin, and he wasn't using it anymore. But I was pretty young, so I didn't really understand what I was supposed to be doing in BASIC. Like the two things you could do on it was like work in BASIC, or you could use a spreadsheet program, which at my age, neither was very appealing. So I would say my first real computer probably was a hand-me-down 286. And I remember it fondly because it was built like a tank and could handle percussive maintenance when it started making squeaking noises.
Oh.
Squeaking noises?
Can you recreate what the noise sound like?
I think maybe it might have been like the equivalent of coil whine. I don't know.
Oh.
It was like
Yeah, it was a little bit, it was high pitched,
Huh.
and it would just kind of, and then you would kind of like apply a little percussive maintenance, and it would just quiet right down. So I remember that one because it had dual floppy drives.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, why would you need
Fancy.
two?
So you can copy between them.
Don't copy that floppy though. That's what I
It
always
was
heard.
legitimate. It was copying documents I had created.
So no hard drive. It was all floppy?
No, it did have a small hard drive.
Oh, okay.
But you would do most of your saving on floppy because you just didn't really have the space on the hard drive. That was when I got acquainted with WordPerfect when in its most perfect original form in DOS. So that was a DOS-based machine. It wasn't Windows. My first Windows machine was a mid-90s Pentium machine. Yeah.
I was thinking, I think I was WordStar originally. And then, of course, the world had to switch to WordPerfect, so.
It was great, and then it wasn't great.
Brad, what was your...
Mine was I grew up in computer labs with Apple IIs and stuff like that in school. You'd had to go to computer class and you'd learn and play Oregon Trail and all that. But the computer that I first got my hands on and made me love computers was a hand-me-down 486 box, Intel 486. It had a hard drive. I could connect to the internet. It didn't have any sort of graphics. So I fell in love with BUDs. I forget what they even stand for these days, but they're basically MMOs all in text.
Yeah.
And so that made me fall in love with computers and the written word, and the rest is history. I used to also have a really, really terrible old dot matrix printer.
Me too.
This
Me
was
too.
This was the era I was a kid. I was a young teenager around this time. And the schools used the same kind of dot matrix printer to print out their report cards, but most of the world had moved on to standard computer paper at that time. So for a few years, I had a real good side racket creating forged cards for other never do well kids like myself.
Wow.
Amazing.
Busted.
That was my baby.
Amazing.
That's awesome. We have a question over here, kind of a fun one from friend of the show, Liquid R. For episode 300, we should discuss the PC2. Aren't Windows PCs already the PC2 since IBM PC precedes them?
Wait a minute. Wait, read
Is
that
it
again.
the sequel to PC, you know?
Oh,
Instead of like a PlayStation 2, you know, we're talking about there was the IBM PC and then the PC2. Are we on the PC2 already? And so we need to go to the PC3?
I thought for a second you meant like a PS2.
No. PC2. Sequel.
PC2. I mean,
Is ARM PC2?
I don't think it's going to fundamentally change, right? I don't know. I don't know if that would be worth it. And of course, when I'm with the PS2, I'm thinking about IBM's PS2. Remember, because it firmly lost control of the PC, so it tried to retake the PC by inventing it all over weird micro channel and just those are built like tanks. But I mean, you could consider that the second PC that didn't make it because it was too. People wanted the open architecture of the PC, so the PS2 went nowhere. It feel like, if I remember it right, we're talking forever ago, but I don't know if we'd do a PC2. Do you think
The
so?
sequel? Just
The sequel?
start fresh.
No.
Just be hey, you know what? Here's the new PC.
Well, I guess we're going to cross that in 2025, but it feels like, again, the thing that the PC has made it so magical is it respects legacy. So if you break enough and you're going to abandon it to actually truly call it a PC2, then I don't know how many people would accept that if you're going to break all that legacy, right? Because
I wouldn't accept it simply because you're calling it PC2. Should be called PC DOS as an homage to DOS. That's all.
You just have to slowly evolve it. I mean, I don't think we could do. I just don't think you could do such radical change. I mean, the community never accepts it, and so we have to figure out a way to go forward to improve it again, to compete with all these newfangled technologies, but in a way that still respects legacy. But again, we're heading for a cataclysm that we've just never seen before in October 2025, right? Because I'm just going through the piles of Haswell and Ivorbridge and Sandy Bridge and Broadwell hardware that I just have at home, like laptops that I've recovered from landfill, and I'm going to feel really bad throwing those away, right? And I don't know what to do because...
Wait, you don't want to pony up $60 to...
Linux.
I was just thinking that I need to start. I really need to download Linux ISOs and just start, because what am I going to do there? You're going to go nowhere. And I don't know if people are going to, if they will accept them too. Will people accept a Broadwell laptop with Linux on it?
I think
As
it
a
depends.
freebie?
It depends. Like, one of my friends, he does that for his relatives who are not super tech savvy,
Right.
and they don't really care as long as they can get on, open a web browser and go to the sites they want to view. They don't really care what the operating system is.
Yeah.
They're not, because they're not.
Linux is a lot better now than it used to be.
That too.
I'm just wondering for people that are not experienced with it, because they're so used to Windows and they're so comfortable with Windows, and
If they are used to Windows, then yes. But I think with the rise of all the tablets and smartphones out there are actually fewer people who are as familiar. Like, there's a lot of people who are familiar, don't get me wrong. But I think, among the people that we would consider very, normie, non-techie type people, they don't really care what it is as long as it does what they're used to.
Okay. I'll have to start doing that. Yeah, I just feel sad about that because maybe that's when we cross the line and we have PC2, right?
I think what's going to happen is that we're not going to have a lot of e-waste. We're just going to have a lot of people who are getting hacked left and right because of security vulnerabilities.
Yeah, but
that's a huge reckoning that's going to be coming, I think.
But that causes
if they don't
people
change
to upgrade.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's human nature where they wait for something bad to happen before it happens, and it's gonna be a big steaming pile of poo. Like if Microsoft just keeps, because Microsoft I think
Elena
is
Yee, 2025, big steaming pile of poo.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, Microsoft's trying to play chicken with everybody, and I get why. Like, because if they cave, people aren't going to change, right? So I think they're trying to play this game where they're like, we're going to force it. But I think that's just going to end up with, people still running terminals on Windows XP for like 2 decades after the Windows XP went end of life.
I was wondering what you were bringing up on your phone.
I have this on my phone. It says I basically used a free vacation. Good thing there's no ads. We have 524 days, 9 hours, and 17 minutes before the end of Windows 10 comes. So
I like that he used a vacation tracker for this.
well, it's Android, so you know how hard it is to get quality apps, and I just wanted something that would just do a countdown. I don't know when the switch on Windows 10 is. It going to be midnight? I figured but 524 days is going to be it's coming up fast, right? That's just going to go like. And again, it is an extinction level event. It feels like, and I don't know what it's going to be like on the other side of that. So
I thought you purposely found an app that had a countdown for specifically the end of Windows.
There could be one out there.
Somebody should make one. I should make one.
Someone's probably going to make a web app now.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad. I was looking for that, the cloud, that the one that Google unfortunately bought, the Chrome OS, because I could just install that, and it's like, and I looked at the supported hardware list. It's like, they really have given up on that because it doesn't support very many configurations, it looks like.
You mean Chrome OS Flex?
Yeah.
So for me, I've always felt like that's more of a laptop thing than it is a desktop thing. I think it's because they can control they can kind of tune it to the specific configurations.
Yeah.
And not all laptops are being covered, but I do wonder if, like, kind of like how when Google bought Fitbit, like, I wonder if they basically bought the product to, like, harvest the tech, like the people behind it rather than to continue the product,
right?
Which is sad because I really loved that.
Right. I mean, it does feel like this would be a perfect opportunity for Chrome to step in and be a player.
They did talk. Brad, refresh my memory on this. They did talk about how I think they extended some of their support to older PCs, right? When
Yes.
because I was around the time where Microsoft said, "Hey, we might give you extended support, but you have to pay for it." And I thought that was about the time that Google was like, "Hey, look, we're gonna do this for free."
Yeah, it was like the same week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like a goodwill kind of gesture.
Yeah, but probably also get people in their ecosystem.
Sticking a thumb in your opponent's eye kind of gesture.
Okay.
Yeah, get more people in their ecosystem.
Another question from friend of the show, VC Jester. Do you have any old school nerd, or do any of you old school nerds, why EVGA refused to partner with AMD and Radeon back in the day?
Do we have any insight? Anybody?
Does anyone know why EVGA never did AMD or Radeon?
I don't. I talked quite a bit with folks at EVGA, but that never came up.
Yeah, I don't have any insight there. I have talked to many people about it, try to get to it, so I don't really know. Nothing I'd be comfortable with saying, but I would say you could probably guess that the fact that they didn't want to partner with Radeon or Intel for ARC kind of maybe says maybe what was presented. I mean, again, this is just simply, we're just guessing here, but it may say something else about what may have been at the heart of the company falling apart at that time on GPUs. So who knows? But we don't know.
Oh, we're talking about like now. Okay. I thought you meant like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Why have they always been NVIDIA?
Yeah, that was the question.
Oh, I see.
Not why did they switch away from NVIDIA to go to. Yeah, we're talking about like back in the day.
Intel wasn't around back in the day. AMD and ATI, I guess, were. I don't have the timelines 100% locked in my head.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to me that they didn't shift over to AMD and Intel now, because their whole thing is like, hey man, we can't make enough money on these. We'll stop. And we're EVGA exclusive in NVIDIA graphics cards, which has the highest markup of any graphics cards out there. So it makes sense not to switch to AMD and Intel.
Yeah, and back then, remember, they got onto the radar because they made a cooler for, old school NVIDIA cards. And Jensen has said he considers, the owner of EVGA a friend, and, they go way back. And So I could see there's some loyalty between both of them, is why he would not switch to AMD. And yeah, as you said, business is business, and NVIDIA has ruled graphics cards for a long, long, long time. So makes sense.
Nice. A $5 super chat from friend of the show, Matt Codgerface, that says, thank you, Full Nerd and community. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this awesome community. That is for sure. Should we do more questions? Any other memories?
I feel like
I got to get out of here in 10 minutes just to let you all know. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got to go pick up my kid from track practice. It's a lot later on the East Coast.
Are you going to wear that, though, to the track practice?
In that outfit.
I think you should.
I feel like
I need to get some pasties for that.
oh, that's the After Dark version of the show.
We should do Full Nerd After Dark.
Hey, we're called Full Nerd, so full nerd.
The full, true. What were we going to say? Somebody, more questions?
I felt like we did promise everybody that they could ask us anything. So
ask us any.
We haven't answered a lot of those questions.
So. We got some random questions, but
I
what do you
have
got?
one earlier from Bob Jones 1980 saying, "Hey, what did Adam do with that 580 he found at Best Buy last year?"
Oh,
580.
What did I do with it? Oh, it's right. It's over there on the shelf. Did not end up doing anything with it.
You can get a second
So
one and run them in
anticlimactic.
crossfire mode.
Yeah, sorry. No, yeah. If you couldn't tell, a lot of times I have an idea for a project, and I'm like, yeah, I got an idea, and then I just run out of time. There's so many cool things to do, and then never enough time.
I got a whole lot more cool ideas than I have time.
I know, right? That's the hard part. Well, that's why we're excited to have Alex here too. Try to help us out on the video side and get more videos coming out for sure. Yeah, always cool. I mean, somebody had an interesting idea in Discord that they were bringing up recently. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Was like, oh hey, you should test with these new Intel baseline power profile things or whatever. You should test a non-K versus a K and see like if a K is performing at non-K levels now or something like that.
I imagine
cool testing,
it might be a little faster, but still enough. It's not gonna make people less unhappy no matter what. So if everybody's gonna be running baseline, so.
Yeah. Patrick Sullivan asked earlier, I'd like to ask the cast, what are your main rigs at home? I feel like we've talked about this before, but always fun.
Left to right.
Mine's easy.
Yeah.
I've had to downsize into a smaller apartment over the last year after everything last year. So I've been working on my couch with a Acer Vero laptop, which is a very nice laptop, but I am very ready to get back to a desktop.
But you said you're going to do like either a dock situation or a mini PC. What was?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking for when I get in June. I should be able to set up a home office, and I'm hoping to get a little like a NUC kind of a thing, but probably an AMD version, and use that. And also I have a gaming desktop, and like just be able to KVM switch it or whatever, turn it on when I want it, because I use so much less power, so much less on my power bill now than when I would just work all day with a 3080 Ti system.
Yeah, that's what I discovered too. I guess I'll piggyback off of that. That's actually the exact thing that I set up, and I mentioned it to Brad. I think when I'm still tracking that data, Brad. So it's really expensive electricity relatively in the United States. Over here in the Bay Area, I think right now my PG&E rate just went up to like 43 cents a kilowatt. So what I ended up doing was that I switched to a mini PC for like mostly web browsing, doing work, social media stuff, right? And then if I'm gaming, then I'll turn on a PC. And then sometimes I scale that to, because I have an abundance of hardware at home. And I scale that because
we all?
I realized that when I was running my my like main desktop system back during like the pandemic with the GTX 1080 Ti in it, my power bill was like almost a solid third higher than it is now. It's like ridiculous how much money you save just by using like a laptop style hardware. So I think going forward, I'm going to have this very privileged, staggered kind of approach where it's like I have a laptop for if I have to be on the go. It doesn't have to be very powerful. I have a mini PC for my daily driver kind of PC, and then I have a gaming desktop.
And all for you guys. Surprisingly, you're both so sensitive to the electric costs. So
I wasn't, but again, it's a different place, so it's not a apples to apples comparison. But my electric bill is a solid $40 to $50 less a month working like this, as opposed to using my desktop, because I work more than 40 hours a week, and having that 3080 Ti powering dual monitors for 50 plus hours a week just adds up.
Yeah.
I'll go back and my daughter's PC she does this thing where she wants to support the streams, so the thing will be lit up, and she has 3 monitors. The damn thing is running, and then it's just like watching some Twitch stream or something, and it's like, oh, come on. So I put it to sleep.
Sounds like you should get her a mini PC just to support her streamers.
No,
Right?
No, that's just not. She's got to have her gaming machine, so not really.
No. In addition to.
Yeah.
Oh, in addition.
Yeah. So like that way she can support her favorite streamers and not hit the power bill so hard. Then when comes time to gaming,
Oh, she's not paying for the power bill. She doesn't care about
that. That would have been. It is really too bad that the whole Nook. Remember the compute units kind of went nowhere. It would be neat if you could have a desktop unit that had a secondary machine it could hand it off to, that use low power, and then you'd crank up and use more power as you needed it.
I mean, I feel like that was kind of the premise behind some of the CPUs we're seeing.
Yeah, but
But it's not the whole system.
It's
I know.
really not even the CPU. It's the GPU. It feels like is the big culprit. Especially those 30 series were just terribly inefficient GPUs, right? Especially 40 series are just so much more efficient. So. We're going that way. So I currently use a Skylake box, and it is running Windows 10. I actually thought about it just literally this week. Like, I need to replace this thing.
We joked about it, I think, last week too.
Yeah, no, and I wanted to replace it, and I was like, you know what? It's stupid. I have this I have an optical drive in there, a Blu-ray drive. I used to have 2 drives. But I'm actually
2 Blu-ray
down to
drives?
2 Blu-ray drives.
Wow.
I'm down to 1 Blu-ray drive, and it's like, this is stupid. I haven't used this thing in like 2 years, and it's like I'm going to build a new machine. It is time to get rid of this thing. And then literally that same day, he's not watching this now, I'm sure, because his eyes would have glazed over. My father-in-law was like, "Hey, can you make copies of these DVDs for me?" It's like, really? So I had to make copies of the DVDs, and then I was like, you know what? Actually, this DVD quality is not very good. I need to upsample this thing. So I used Topaz Video AI, and this is like, oh my God, this thing is so slow.
Yeah.
But then I realized, I was like, wait, I need to burn this now to Blu-ray, and I tried to make a 4K Blu-ray, and then I realized, wait, what am I doing? Like, I can't. Then I was going to make a Then I decided I need to make a Blu-ray version of it. Which is, for a while, I forgot that there was I forgot that Blu-ray was 1080p. I thought they were all 4K, and
That's
trying
4K
to solve the answer of making a 4K Blu-ray that's viewable, that's a video, was really, really difficult.
It is.
And I literally was like, I'm talking about blast from past. I was like running DVD Fab. I tried a demo version of DVD. When's the last time you heard that, right? And then here's a real one. And then the thing that I ended up is like, well, can I do this in Premiere? They stopped supporting burning of optical media from Premiere. So it's like the latest. It's like, oh, the latest. Wait,
Doesn't surprise me.
There's no Encore. Like, the answer for Encore is to download CS6.
Oh,
Install CS. It's like, and then it was like, okay, you know what? What worked for me is Nero. So
Yeah,
Nero
okay.
24, which actually they still support, although it feels like, there's 50 applications there now. Nero actually ended up, but like, when's the last time we fired Nero up, for God's sake, right?
I haven't thought about Nero in probably a decade.
I know, and they still make it. They support it. I use Recode. I use the Nero burning ROM, and there's like Nero video. I was like, it actually ended up.
Isn't there like a benchmark you used with Nero?
We used to talk about it in the office, but
okay,
I don't think any of us are really using it in like probably the past.
I think that was the
decade.
last time I thought of it.
Yeah, and there's Nero Score, which they were trying to build like a benchmarking application, but it really didn't go much further from CPU and graphics. But just the fact that you got, Nero, like, so I need a new box, but then I'm like, I really now realize like somebody's gonna go. You need to burn a Blu-ray disc for me. It's like, where the hell am I gonna put a Blu-ray disc? I don't want to use USB. That sucks.
What I love about this story is that I'm sure his father-in-law was like, this will take him like 15 minutes tops. And Gordon mixed this probably like a whole day project.
Oh no,
A day?
Was 48 hours.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, a day? No, this isn't just a day project. He was stewing on it in the middle of the night. He probably woke up and he's like,
No, and I was like, because I was sitting there like doing this conversion, like it's like 2:00 in the morning, and you want to talk about like power? You guys are talking. So like the whole time you're running Topaz, and so I have a Skylake, and you're like, God, Gordon's got a real
Skylake
POS.
or Skylake X?
Skylake X, but it's
Okay.
still Skylake cores. So we're talking about 18 cores, not exactly the most efficient. So 18 cores, 128 gigs of RAM. This thing was like a 300. It was like I was just watching it for 300 watts, 400 watts, 300 watts, 400 watts, and I'm like, this job will take 8 hours to finish.
it was at least warming your place up, right?
It was actually, the room got really warm, and it was like, oh my God. And I was like, I was doing this for the entire weekend. So like your whole like, yeah, I really need to get this down of like 15 watts of power. I'm like 400 watts. And this isn't counting the 4K panel, which is probably 90 watts. So 500 watts probably just to run this damn thing for 48 hours.
Oh, my face hurts.
But you know, what are we going to do? Have my father-in-law deal with this lousy, DVD. I forgot that DVDs were like that 720p. Like I had no idea it was that low res. I was like, what? But
No, DVDs are 480p, I thought.
yeah, maybe I was. I don't remember because who thinks about the resolution of?
Or 1080i, right?
Yeah, I think is it 480?
I'm just gonna
I thought
I thought it was
480.
Oh, you're right. It was so. I was like, why does this look so blurry? I was like, it's terrible.
That's why you have to pull out your old monitors, so you're like, oh, I don't have to upscale. Like it just fills the screen now.
Yeah. So anyway, I need a new box. I don't know if I'm going to go power efficient or just I want speed because that would have made it
Amazing.
faster.
Well, but we have also been talking about figuring out ways for you to produce some video at home. So I think we need to build a box that can be capable of that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think there is a way to go both. No matter what, the new machine is going to be better than your old machine, and probably still more efficient too. So
I do feel those very old Skylake cores are holding performance back, even though generally you would think that it would be a GPU load, but I feel like Skylake X is ancient.
Well, you said it was holding back Steam downloads on your 10 gig fiber.
Yeah, depending on what you're
wouldn't,
writing.
it wouldn't decompress.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have to go. Sorry to butt in here. So
All right, Brad.
it
You
wouldn't
got
be a full nerd if it wasn't Brad leaving early.
Well, no,
so.
somebody real quick. Tank 2 asks, is the 30th episode, or I'm sorry, is the 300th episode going to be 300 minutes long?
Yeah, we've been going a while. It's like 3 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
to
you, Brad.
y'all.
Thanks,
Thanks to
Brad.
everybody watching. Like 300's dope and awesome, and takes all of us. So takes all y'all watching too. So appreciate everybody.
Thanks, boss.
Adios.
Thank you.
Bye.
Later, Brad.
Yeah, I hope he picks up his daughter in that
Maybe we
outfit.
should
That'd be hilarious.
something celebratory.
Oh
on
yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Otherwise, you just can see my jazz hands here.
Just bring up the full nerd playlist.
Okay.
Or the new full nerd YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
One
Subscribe
second.
to the new full nerd
Gonna
YouTube
switch
channel.
to me real quick.
Oh no, it's yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So a machine for you for sure. I got some ideas. I think it'd be fun. I mean, we need to build a new machine for Alex anyway. And he needs a video production machine. So yeah, we'll do 2 video production machines at the same time, or something like that. Let's go over. I have another question from friend of the show, Skeet Sayer. Asks, what handheld does Adam still use on the daily? Good question. I feel like I'm still kind of moving around depending on what's going on. I will say I have been using the MSI Claw because I've been working on here's what the first 3 months were like working on the Claw kind of thing. I don't think you can add it you just have to go to the URL or just put the Full Nerd Podcast or spaces. So yeah, I've been working on a thing of like, hey, the Claw, it's got some updates and stuff like that. So I am like using that occasionally, but most of the time it's the ROG Ally. Like that's just my go-to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not the Steam Deck.
No, yeah, Ally is more powerful. Like I when I'm gaming, I'm plugged in anyway, so battery life and efficiency, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's nice. I mean, I think there are other good handhelds out there as well, for sure, and I like, I'm still trying them out as they come in, but like I feel like that's usually my main one I go back to.
You don't miss the trackpads?
No, you got a touchscreen.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd never used the trackpads for gaming, even when I was using the Steam Deck. So, like,
Interesting.
I just used the touchscreen.
What about your PCs that you're running?
Yeah, well, so kind of the same boat. Actually, I want to downsize my work setup at my desk, because right now, like I'd originally built it with a 13900K and a 4090. I switched out the GPU to what do I have in there? I think a 4070 Ti or something like that. But even that's still overkill. Like, I'm not doing as much video editing as I was doing. So I don't need all that raw performance, and I don't need a huge box because it's a standing desk. I've also been doing like a long-term review of the Corsair Platform 6 standing desk. Hopefully doing a video of it real soon, because I need to do that. But yeah, it's a standing desk, so I put the PC on the actual desk part itself, and it's a Be Quiet Pure Bass 502. Is that what whatever that nice airflow one is?
Yeah.
And it's just too big. It's just overpowerful. I don't need that much. So I'm definitely gonna get a small form factor. I thought about going with like a mini PC, but like I think I need the I/O more. Because I still do have a lot of stuff plugged into it, and I don't want to go with like another dock attached to it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not fully settled on anything, but yeah, I definitely want to downsize that rig. And then I already have that small form factor hooked up to the TV. That's my gaming rig. That's a 7800 X3D on a real slim tower cooler, and that thing just it doesn't heat up at all. It's so power efficient. It's crazy. With I swap between a 4080 and a 7900 XTX in that, depending on what I'm doing. So
you really could go to a main work machine without discrete graphics?
I could try. I mean, part of me was also like, oh man, should I try the whole handheld with docked into an eGPU kind of thing? But then I was like, it's the I/O that kills me. I'm like, I need USB ports, because I still have a lot of stuff plugged into it. Once again, I could go with an extension or something to get more USB, but
I found hubs to be sometimes finicky.
Yeah,
I have that with my mini PC, honestly, because of all the things I have hooked up to it, and sometimes it kind of temperamental.
Yeah. So no, I could probably get away with it just fine. But that's the thing. The thing I use the most right now is Photoshop. And the more that these guys take edits, the more we have freelancers now that take edits too. So like me taking an edit is going to be even fewer and far between.
I predict you will, if you try to do it, you will go like, oh, I got to go back. I just can't have a machine that does not have big fat GPU inside. It feels like
you don't think because of the speed.
Yeah, well, because so many things, it's almost like, depending on the application you run, you really do. I kind of wish one thing. So Skylake X is HEDT part. It does not have IGP in it. I kind of like doing all these video transcodes. Like, I kind of wish I had access to transcode, right? To to QuickSync or something. I kind of like you almost want a box that you could have. You could have CUDA, you could have NVIDIA, you could have Intel, you could have ARC, you could have QuickSync, you could have Radeon. Like, just all, you want to have all these different pieces. Like, if I could probably toss like a Mac in there, like, because it's not necessarily about what the software, about the hardware. I kind of, because whatever the application is, it just simply is simply coded better for certain pieces of hardware. I kind of wish I could have like all different access, but I've tried it before. It just never works that way. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I am wondering like how low can I go in terms of performance, because I for the past number of years I always have had just the highest performing stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'll mess around. I still like messing around with stuff and trying stuff, and having the latest hardware and actually getting my hands on it and messing around, because I think that definitely informs a lot of things.
No, it does, and that's what I kind of like on my machine at home. That's why I kind of want a big fat machine, because then I could sort of see what's making a difference in the software I'm using.
I guess people are saying it's 22 minutes before we hit 300 minutes. So,
so we'll go to 300 minutes?
Yeah, we can
All
go to
right.
300 minutes. I don't know.
All right, somebody asked some
Are you okay
questions.
with that? Did you do
I
that?
will endeavor
that's
to
fine.
last. It's so cold right now. I think I might just grab my jacket.
Yeah.
It's so
Sorry.
cold.
We have a super chat
Oh, we
earlier.
do?
Yeah, from $2 from Coffee, two Canadian dollars from Coffee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Saying, Gordon, your daughter is there to support the stream, but also PG&E.
Oh yeah. You got to support PG&E, man.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah,
know,
'cause
you can't.
they
You can't take
definitely
their-
They manage
need
your
more
funds
money.
so well.
They need more money.
and a comment from Deotis saying, tell Gordon to get a Kindle Fire 7-inch for $30-ish so she can use that to support the streamers. And they also do that for UFD Tech as well.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Just constantly watching UFT checks
on
Brett
a
stuff.
tablet,
That's
yeah.
actually a pretty smart idea.
I think a lot of kids will, she uses her phone for that too. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Will has a question. I'm curious how often Gordon reinstalls Windows since his computer is older than my kid.
I don't. In fact, the sad thing is I had switched over to the Skylake Xbox, but I kept my older machine because I really wanted to it was a Windows 8.1 machine with an 8-core Xeon in there. And I intentionally kept it because it looked like just the biggest POS. And when I put some extra memory in there, I couldn't fit it under the stupid cooler. So then I broke the heat spreaders off the RAM just to jam it in there, so it looked worse. And then when I was in Japan last year, somebody from LTT says, "Hey, we'd love to see what machine you're using because they roast people."
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they were going to do a roast. I said, "Oh my god, I got to send you a picture of this machine." I just finally retired it, and this machine was like, it just looks like a serious piece of shit, right? It's just like terrible piece of crap. And I really wanted to I never sent that. I really should send it to them now. They already did that episode, but maybe. Because this machine is definitely worth roasting because I had 3 hard drives in there, and at one time one of them died, taking all the data with it. I had no idea. It just had died. So it's just
And you don't know do you know what was on that?
yeah, I do know some of it.
Oh.
So I guess it wasn't that valuable. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a correction. 300 minutes is 5 hours.
5 hours,
Yeah,
not.
the
We're hitting
person
3
said
o'clock.
3 o'clock.
We're hitting 3 o'clock
so.
Pacific time.
That comment came late then. I think they might be behind in the stream.
Yeah. I don't know, but we're
But yeah,
we're not going to go for 5.
We're not going to go 5 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not. I actually have to get to an appointment.
Yeah. So we should wrap. Any other last burning questions? Literally rapid fire. Just throw random questions in
Are
here.
there any more Discord ones?
We have a ton of stuff, but a lot of it's on topic.
Oh,
So I was
is
like,
it? Okay.
we can talk about. Here's a master procrastinator. What PC thing from the old days do you miss? Examples: modem dial-up tune, beige yellowed PC case, bulky CRT monitor, zip drives, Windows 95.
I miss Windows 2000 still.
Mm.
That was a rock solid operating system. So I wouldn't say kind of, I guess maybe as a tie-in to our GOAT discussion, I wouldn't say that I would hold it up against any modern operating system and say I'd take it over it, but I do miss just that rock stability. It was so straightforward. It was basically built off of Windows NT, so it wasn't designed for consumers. So everything you needed was at your fingertips. They didn't try to bury things in menus because they were trying to keep normies from getting themselves in trouble. So you didn't have to go digging for, where's this setting, where's that setting. Everything was right there for you. It was super rock solid. I went from Windows 98 to Windows 2000, and my uptimes were night and day. I used to have to reboot my Windows 98 configuration every other day. It was driving me crazy. And then once I switched to Windows 2000, I had an uptime of several months, and I was like, I should probably reboot. It's such such a good experience. I was so sad to get off of the operating system, but one end of life.
Yeah, 2000 was pretty solid. What the hell was the follow-up? 7, right? When did we go from, we went to 2000 straight to...
Windows 7 was kind of like a little bit of a spiritual-ish successor, I guess, but it was still more of a consumer operating system. So there were still like things that were buried in menus, and that was annoying for me. I just want to do the thing and then be done with it, not have to go find it.
I still miss the XP background, the desktop, and then screensavers, like the.
You can still use a screensaver.
I know, yeah. XP screensavers.
I miss using a PC to burn music CDs and feed it to my coupe.
Oh yeah.
So you can just ride along, the California highway coast and just blast your mixed CD.
Did you have like a changer in the back?
No, just a single CD.
Oh
yeah. Did you like?
Oh boy.
I had
not
a
a 6 CD changer.
Really?
Oh.
Wow, Gordon.
Whoa.
Springing for the high end.
Yeah. No, because it was aftermarket. So, actually, interesting. This might be some breaking news. We got some breaking news.
We're gonna end it on serious talk, huh, Gordon?
Well, I mean, it's worth. Yeah, I know. But this is important information because apparently there is, and I'm going to note this concerns the Intel instability issues with some 13th and 14th gen K SKU processors. Several motherboard manufacturers have released BIOS profiles labeled Intel Baseline Profile. However, these BIOS profiles, I hope my battery doesn't die here because I haven't plugged my laptop in it. Mm-mm. However, these BIOS profiles are not the same as the Intel default settings recommendations that Intel has recently shared with partners regarding the instability issues reported on 13th and 14th gen K SKU processors. These Intel Baseline Profile BIOS settings appear to be based on power delivery guidance previously provided by Intel to manufacturers describing the various power delivery options for 13th and 14th generation K SKU processors based on motherboard capabilities. Bold, Intel is not recommending motherboard manufacturers to use baseline power delivery settings on boards capable of higher values. Intel's recommended Intel default settings are a combination of thermal and power delivery features along with a selection of possible power delivery profiles based on motherboard capabilities. And then it breaks down. Intel recommends customers to implement the highest power delivery profile comparable with each individual motherboard design, as noted in the table below. I won't get into this, but basically what Intel is saying is if you are on the internet or if you are people I know that are, oh my God, my Core i9 is now a Core i7. I'm so angry. This is terrible. Travesty. I get it. Those are real concerns. But you are getting your jump to conclusion mad out and thinking that, oh my God, they think they can turn my Core i9 into a Core i7 and everything will be okay. Apparently, your jump conclusion, Matt, did not work correctly. And the actual thing is Intel is saying, no, we do not expect you to nerf your Core i9 down to power levels to a Core i7. They are giving, looks like board vendors the option, like if you have a motherboard that's got, 12 gigawatts of VRMs in the board and all this kind of magic, you can crank that sucker up. It's up to you on the board design, but they are saying they are not telling people you have to use baseline profiles. So it looks like, as we know now, the baseline profile, which everybody was assuming was what everybody was supposed to run, you don't actually have to. So
well, this goes deeper actually. Hardware Unboxed covered this earlier today in their video, the 7800 X3D versus 14900K. They tested a bunch of the baseline profiles, and the problem before this official guidance was that at least according to this hub video, they did a little addendum at the end where they made this original video and then they added a little addendum. Is that the Intel baseline profiles were actually different profiles depending on the motherboard manufacturer. So this Intel is saying, hey, this is actually our profiles. We got the baseline, we got performance, we got extreme, which extreme is still not unlimited power limits. It's still 253.
Right.
So Intel is not recommending that you go unlimited on the power limits. The extreme profile is still 253, but some of the
KS
actual
is 320. So
okay, yeah, but not unlimited, right? Not 4,000.
not 4096.
Yeah. So the that's what Hub was showing off too, is that only I think it was Gigabyte was the only motherboard manufacturer that actually had the correct labeling of baseline. I think the Intel one, or I'm sorry, the Asus one had the extreme performance is what they were tuning in. So now it looks like Intel is coming out and saying, hey, no, here are stricter guidelines around what is actual Intel baseline, what is performance, what is extreme.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because then regardless of what motherboard manufacturer you have, it's all the same nomenclature. It should all be the same kind of like expectations of where you're at. So
yeah,
I think this is good.
PL1 for performance on a 1300K KF and a 14900K KF is 125. PL2 is 253. PL4 is 380. PL4 is basically what amperage limit. That's the hard wall. For extreme profile for K, 13K KF, 14K KF is 253, and PL4 of 380, and that's 400 amp ICC max and 307 for performance profile. And for 13900 KS, 14900 KS, it is 253. PL1, 253, PL2, PL1 equals PL2, and then PL4 is 380. And then for the extreme profile is 320 PL1, 320 PL2, and 550 for PL4, and 400 ICC max for the extreme, and 307 ICC max for performance profile.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this is all good stuff. Having actual, like, saying, hey, this is what baseline actually means, this is what each different performance profile means, is a good thing. Right. Because then you get to pick, okay, what should you do? I think it's still yet to be seen, okay, what is the motherboard going to default to? What are these manufacturers going to default to? But at least if it defaults to the extreme power profile, right, it'll say extreme power profile or something like that. So.
Right. And I mean, but I think they kind of wanted people to basically default to baseline, which is very, very low sort of safety, but they are not shackling people. So you can run, the board vendors can just decide if they want to do performance, extreme, and then it does look like it depends on the board as well. But I think the good thing is that,
well, and the chip too. This is mostly just for high end.
But I do think a lot of the sort of the recent concerns that I saw from people were like, the baseline was what these chips were going to operate at all the time, right? Which was very concerning, because if you're really saying that baseline is what they're supposed to run at, that is like way below what the chips originally launched at. So you can't go back and say the baseline would, because that's definitely the concern that I was hearing, is people are saying baseline is what you're supposed to be running at for these things to be safe. And it looks to me like,
well, I mean, that's what they're kind of recommending. You pick whichever performance profile you want. So,
but so the thing is, I still think there's more to come, hopefully, because the real question is,
yes,
it looks like they're saying you can run performance and extreme, and they will still honor the warranty. And I guess there's no issues, right? We're hoping, because that to me
have they said clearly that there are no issues?
I mean,
this feels like a completely different thing.
Yeah. So again, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
They're still. It sounds to me like they're still investigating this, as they've been saying. But the assumption was you have to run baseline for it to be safe. And if you have to run baseline for it to be safe, and now you've taken away 20% of my i9's performance, that's bad.
We know what they say about assuming.
No, I know, and that's what I've been trying to tell people, is we don't know. Again, I'm not trying to give them a pass here. What I'm saying is we have to be patient, because it's not clear on what the problem is. Whether, again, is it a batch issue? What's causing it? And hopefully at the end of this, the answer is satisfactory to everybody, but we're not there yet. So have a little more patience, hang on, don't freak out, and just wait, basically, is what I think is, because they're still looking at this. So that's what the message is.
And while we wait, this is still a good development. I would call this good.
And for me, it's good because I've been having discussions with people like, if they expect baseline to be what everybody should run at for my chip to be safe, that is not acceptable. And I would agree that's not acceptable, but that is not exactly what I was saying. I don't know where you're even getting this from because I have not heard them say that. You're making all kinds of assumptions, and so I think that kind of helps clear that up. So,
fun times. Well, we ended on a serious note, serious news.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We should wrap it up. We've been going for a while. I think there was one more super chat. No. Yeah. One more super chat. Friend of the show, Joseph Fresky, gave us $5. Thank you so much. Said Windows ME. Laugh.
Oh yeah. Well, that was after 98.
That is somebody who enjoys difficult times in life.
Well, I mean, the question though, Vista versus ME. Vista was worse.
Ooh.
Yeah, Vista was actually worse, I think.
Not in terms of stability. Like, I think in terms of usability and like enjoyment of using, it was kind of terrible. But ME actually crashed a lot. Like, I had to do a lot of maintenance
So did
and support.
Vista, though. I can't remember. I mean, what we're sort of debating is like whether it's better to be poked in your left eye and your right eye. And both hurt. So, I mean, they were both not good.
Well, but I'd rather have my right eye.
I feel like we're debating whether
It's
or
a
not it
better
feels
eye.
better to be poked in your left eye or in your throat.
Yeah. Okay, that works.
It both
too.
sucks.
They
Yeah.
both hurt. Yeah. So they were both really dark times for, Windows OSs, right? So,
Well, is it better? Are either of those better or worse than Windows 8.0?
oh, 8 was way better than those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad.
I mean, the interface was like, oh.
Yeah,
but-
because come on, everybody complained about the usability on that interface.
But you got to understand that it was like Windows 8 was the iPad had come around and all the analysts were saying we would be like driving iPads down the road.
It doesn't make it easier to use though.
Well, but once you got into this weird tablet interface, but once you got to the desktop experience,
never had to go back.
it was a rock solid.
Unless you hit
desktop experience.
the start button.
Well, then it was like,
then all of a sudden it would take
whoa,
over
all
everything.
these tiles, right?
But
It was just
There's a difference. Like, if we're using like Gordon's analogy here,
Of poking things.
like there's a
Keep going.
difference between somebody like hitting you accidentally in your shoulder and someone stabbing you in the throat. I'm just saying. So like Windows 8 was like, I could see that people complain because they didn't like it, but there's a difference between complaining because you didn't like it and complaining because like, what is this steaming pile of crap?
yeah. And Windows 8 wasn't unstable. It didn't crash. All the drivers generally worked. It wasn't like Vista was terrible. ME was terrible. Like it was just a lot of blue screens, right? A lot of blue screens.
Will says you were all out of control. Windows ME was nowhere near as bad as Windows 8.
What? No way.
Will,
ME
what?
was terrible. 8 was a bad interface. Hey, you know what? Start 8, Windows 8, it felt just like, right? Like a regular operating system. So I would disagree with that. I go back and run. You know what? I think Will and I are doing a build. We should run ME on that. No, actually, we can't because you can't run the processors on there. But no way. ME was
Spoilers.
terrible.
Spoilers.
ME
ME
was
terrible.
really bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what hasn't been bad? Oh wait, no, I'm not the host anymore.
What?
I'm going to sit back.
He's trying to take over your
yeah,
job,
I'm
Gordon.
sorry.
I
I'm sorry. I was in host mode, but I'm not hosting it.
Wait, let me
I'm just
see
sitting here,
where
so.
do I have the full nerd notes anymore?
And notes.
I mean, it's been.
Like, I've been on vacation.
You can take us out
Not
of here?
vacation.
I thought you would recite it.
You're in the host. You're in the host chair. You know.
Oh, you're right. I'm in the right seat. All right. All right, I'm going to take us out. Again, 300 episodes. We're going to guarantee you that we're going to get to another 300 episodes. I know I can't guarantee that, but I'm saying that.
I got one. I've been doing this on
And
Yay.
I just want to say again, thank you, the audience. The PC experience would not be what it is without you. And also, again, I want to thank the people who make the hardware and the software that make the PC great. Yeah, sometimes it's not so great. But again, these are the people who make the PC what it is. And let's all remember that. It's here so we can have the freedom and the fun that make this experience so much better than being trapped behind a walled prison that some people offer. So again, Full Nerd episode 300, another 300 coming.
You can't spell personal computer without you.
Yeah, you can't spell personal computer without you.
Right?
Personal computer
What?
you.
There's a U in computer. You can't spell computer without you.
Yes, Adam, yes.
Somebody only texts using text.
It took me a while to figure that out.
spelling.
So check back next week for your Fix It PC Talk on the Full Nerd. For audio listeners, subscribe to us on iTunes. Did they still do Google Play or did they kill that already? I don't
No,
know.
that is definitely out of
Not
date.
only is there no Google Play, there's no Google Podcasts, so you're
It's
too
out of
behind.
Is Spotify still there?
Yes, Spotify is definitely.
Or Spotify. Are there any other services that have gone? Or
I say Pocket Cast is our third biggest service.
I'm going to replace Google
so,
Play.
yes.
We'll do what? What's it called again?
Pocket Cast.
Pocket Casts.
Pocket
Yeah.
Cast.
People either listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, or Pocket Cast is our top three.
Yeah, so please subscribe to us on iTunes, Pocket Cast, or Spotify. Send questions and comments to thefullnerd@PCWorld.com. And if you're on one of those services, please leave a review. Every time you do, we try to make Adam blush talking about how doctors measure
Oh my.
how dilated a person is when they are having a baby
Don't leave for
or a robot, I suppose.
Just don't leave for fees.
Send questions and comments to thefullnerd@PCWorld.com. I'm sure somebody's checking them. It ain't me.
Me.
Okay, great. Elena's checking them. Thanks for coming. I'm Gordon Ung with Elena Yee.
Bye, everybody. This is a great episode. I've been laughing so hard, my cheeks literally hurt.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Brad Chacos is running around somewhere
Charkis.
naked with a charkis on. God, I spelled this wrong. Charkis. Why do I not have this spelled correctly here? Is running around with
That is spelled right.
his
You just
daughter's
pronounced it
costume on.
Charkis.
I did. I see. I usually have this. I got to update my notes. here.
No, you had it spelled correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you pronounced it Charkis.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Adam Patrick Murray sitting next to me.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Willis Lai and Alex
Esteves.
Esteves controlling the horizontal and vertical.
All right. Thank you, Gordon. This is such a fun episode, 300. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm going to piggyback on Adam here. There is no full nerd without you. So thank you again. Looking forward to more episodes, another set of episode 300s with you all. Happy 300, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yay.
Oh, and by the way, that news came from Mark.